Hello, everybody. I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades, and welcome to Arcana Corps, a tabletop RPG campaign run in City of Mist and Voidheart Symphony, inspired by the Persona video games. I have 4 delightful players with me. Let's go from left to right on our little HUD at the bottom. We have Ruben.
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello.
It's me. Did you know that all the birds were replaced by robots during the Reagan? No, I'm not doing that. Hi everyone. I'm Ruben. I'm a writer on Twitter. I also am playing a character on the stream. I'm very coy today, so I'm just batting my eyelashes at the camera.
We're all very shy and nervous, to be honest. It's all good, or at least I am.
Oh, no, I'm doing great.
Oh, cool. I'm glad one of us is.
I'm being coquettish. I'm just. I got my hands folded over my lap, and I'm batting my eyelashes at the camera.
Ruben's here for picture day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for my Insta.
Oh man, I am in like a sleeveless hoodie today. It's super hot, so I'm not fabulous at all. I'm glad that we're not on webcam, to be honest with you. We also have Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello! I've managed to get round my nervousness by having quite a few beers to drink this afternoon, so it should all be good.
Absolutely, that's the plan. I am drinking an amaretto sour right now. We have Marcy in the building. Whoop whoop.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to roleplay. I love Persona, I love role-playing, and I love these fine fellows, so I'm ready to get this started.
No.
Yes.
Joe.
And last by absolutely no means least, we have Will. Hello.
It is I, Will Yule, your bird master of the day.
Risen from the dead.
Risen from the nest.
Wait, did you say birdmaster of the bidet?
Yeah, the bidet bird. No, we're American. We don't have those here.
Okay.
They don't actually exist. Yes, all of my potential nervousness for this has been eradicated from last weekend, where I triples featured in Nathan's stream marathon. I do not have the capacity for fear anymore. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, Record Collection went really, really well. I was really happy with how that set of streams went. For those who are listening at home, you can see the restreams for Record Collection. 3 different indie tabletop RPGs, one written by me, one written by Will, and one written by special guest Ozcore. They are all available on the Twitch, but they are also available on our YouTube. Go watch them after this stream, please. Not during, after. Thank you.
Don't leave. Please don't leave.
Don't leave me. Mm-hmm. But yes, thank you all so much for coming, both my players and you wonderful people in the audience. Preamble. Yeah, Arcana Corps is an idea that has been sitting around in my head for, like, literally years. I was looking for an opportunity and the right people to do it with, play with us. And I am so fortunate to have this group of wonderful people here playing with me. I really was fascinated with the Persona video games, and in my free time was learning to be able to read tarot. I have a coven in real life because I'm that kind of bitch that I do readings for on occasion, and I'm like, love to do an RPG about this concept. I also love mysteries. I love doing the kind of like teenage sleuth kind of stuff, and wanted to run campaigns around that idea. I did that off-air in the past, the Strange Tales of Mainframe City Academy, which was as over-the-top as it sounds, which Will was a player in, and that is the, I guess, spiritual prequel to this campaign. On Arcana Corps, we follow these 4 teens who have awakened to psychic powers mysteriously. They all live in the City of Jungsburg because subtlety is for cowards. They all work under the mysterious government organization Ryder that are trying to get the best out of them to solve various strange goings-on in the cities. But is Ryder to be trusted? What is really going on in the City of Jungsburg? And can these teens manage to keep their special powers in check while still maintaining their ordinary daily lives? Yeah, that is pretty much the big preamble. I'm also going to go and clear all our test rolls because nobody needs to see that. There we go, good. Before we get into it, are there any questions from the crew, from our players? Is there anything you'd like to say before we get down and dirty and into this nonsense?
Can I just say that I love all of you, and we're going to make some really amazing fiction, and I'm very excited to do this. Also, my hair looks great. Just wanted to say that. You cannot see this.
What's left of mine, I'll say, mate.
Oh, actually, a thing we should do before we start, two things. Most of them pretty much about tabletop RPG safety. In a lot of games, people like to use the X card when discussing matters of problematic topics or topics they find difficult and don't want to discuss during the game. What I'm using for this game is the Bree Sheldon script change system, which kind of elaborates on the X card system into using editing style attributes like playing and pausing, advancing frame by frame, fast forwarding, rewinding, and instant replay to be able to scrub through the narrative of what we're playing, and that means we can skip over things that we don't want to see on camera. We can pause when we want to kind of break character and discuss certain things that are going on. If we want to kind of skip around things in a montage, we can use frame by frame and so on. On most of the screens in this game, you will see the script change controls available. Our players can ping by clicking and holding anywhere on the screen, and so to show to me that they would like to highlight those particular things. In terms of the things that will be discussed in this game as a whole, I wrote this script prior to the disaster fire that is going on in the world. It doesn't touch on much in the way of police brutality or anything especially severe like that. In our session 0, which we had a couple months ago and is also available to watch, we introduced our kind of lines and veils. But to raise for our players and those in the chat, this session will cover discussions of gender and drag performance, not in a negative way, just it's a thing that comes up. And I think that is pretty much the only potentially or arguably spicy thing that occurs in this session. It's pretty chill. But with that in mind, shall we get into things? Let's go
get it on.
and cue up some switching scenery. Okay. We start our tale today with a shot of Jungsburg from above. The brutalist edges of buildings are blurred and faintly glowing as if seen on repeatedly copied videotape. The camera plunges towards some city back streets, as we see here, and interestingly, out of one of the side alleyways, a figure appears. It appears to be, for some strange reason, a rabbit. This rabbit is actually... I should probably also make sure that my view is good. Yes, this is a good view of the proceedings. Excellent. This rabbit is a little strange. It's definitely much taller than one you would expect. It also stands on its hind legs, and crackled throughout it is these weird golden cracks, as if like a kintsugi pottery, something that was broken and then reformed, and with the edges lined with gold to make it something different than what it was before. It is also incredibly nervous. It moves down the alleyway, sniffing the air, its eyes a strange whirling spiral as it looks around paranoid. It pauses and sniffs the air, and then a figure barrels in after it. It is one of you four who is chasing this mysterious lupine lagomorphic figure. There we go. I know what taxonomy is.
You know more than I do.
Are we in a blue chiffon dress with a blonde wig?
No, but I am though.
My first question is who wants to appear on the scene first?
I feel like that's a very Sabine thing to do, so I will jump ahead here and
Okay, absolutely.
Be the shoot first, ask questions later person.
Yeah, you, let's move you to the token layer. You appear on the scene, kind of running in out of one of the corridors. The anxiety lapin startles in surprise as you enter the fray. You know that more than anything else, you need to capture this thing. What do you do?
I continue to sprint after it pretty much as fast as I can. I think that I would just dig in and go like I was on the track team trying to jump on this thing.
Okay, cool. What kind of role would be an appropriate venture for this in terms of City of Mist style move? Let's go toe to toe. You want to get up in this rabbit's face with extreme speed and extreme prejudice.
All right.
Are there any tags on your character sheet? So yes, this is an interesting thing about City of Mist. It's powered by the Apocalypse game, but instead of having stats, our characters have a number of tags that make up their character. Players can invoke up to 3 tags to roll up to 3d6 on their checks, but there are things that can take away from those tags. So are there any relevant tags that you would like to use?
I think so. She would be filled with rage that she has to chase this rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
She would want revenge for making her chase this rabbit. And I think that's probably it.
Yeah, you've already been chasing this thing for a good 10 minutes, and you are entirely done.
Yes.
All right. So if you wouldn't mind on your character sheet ticking those 2 boxes, and that should update the power total at the top. And then going and clicking go toe to toe.
Mild success.
Mm-hmm. I get to yeah. Okay. So I think you charge straight in. You should have control of your legs, by the way. No dice? Oh, there we go. Yes. You charge straight in, and you go for like a diving tackle towards the rabbit as it manages at the last possible second to leap into the air. It seems that it has mad ups, and as you just kind of like narrowly miss it and are starting to like fly towards the ground, everything freeze frames, and we should hopefully get a pop-up.
Ah, yes.
Sabine Kistner!
So fucking good.
Ha!
Awesome.
I think during this opportunity you can like introduce yourself in the kind of like, that's me.
Sabine Kistner is a branded delinquent at the Jungsburg High School. She has had some unfair run-ins with the law and with adults' sort of perspectives of her. So she started leaning into that. She started dressing with the leather jacket, some black lipstick, heavy raccoon makeup there. But she wasn't always like that. But, you know, the best way to describe her is Sun with little dare. And she is on a quest for revenge, which we will see play out throughout the show.
Mm-hmm. Time resumes as you hit concrete.
Sounds about right.
However, this with the target currently airborne, another player enters the fray to see if they can try and catch it.
Might I take the opportunity to step in at this point?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Sonichio round the corner, almost looking like he was several steps ahead of the chase, looking like he's trying to avoid doing as much running as physically possible.
Oh, you came in the other way then. That makes sense. Nice. Let's move you over.
Holding up, having pulled off his unbranded delivery firm jacket in its stereotypical turquoise colour, he'll jump through the air attempting to catch this thing in the wrap of his jacket as he goes for the jump.
Are you also going to attempt to go toe-to-toe?
I will attempt to go toe-to-toe. I'll add my non-lethal combat. to this.
Oh, actually, this is I should probably actually engage with the mechanics instead of just doing cool cutscenes. Sabine, when you made that attempt to try and capture the anxiety lapin, you can choose one. You manage to, I guess, like manage to achieve your goal in terms of maybe trying to corner or capture the rabbit. You get them good, inflicting a status. Or block dodging or countering is not really super appropriate here. But
So is the anxiety lapin wearing pants?
Sure,
What a
sure.
What a question.
I would like to grab onto it by its waistline, from its pants.
It's now thrashing around as you have it
Maybe-
suspended.
Yeah, maybe it breaks free, but I did stop it enough and tried to catch it, kind of as a mild success.
Absolutely. Sonichi, go and give me a toe-to-toe roll.
Ah.
Ooh, a miss.
Oh, flying through the air and missing horrendously with his.
Sure, yeah. I think with the anxiety lapin thrashing around, you go in and it bicycle kicks you in the face.
Oh my god!
And as you reel back from the hit,
Get like a slow motion of your face, cheeks moving.
Shinichi Mori!
This is me.
The group's premier salesman and fence. Shinichi comes from a relatively independent background, given his father's currently in prison for all sorts of minor crimes, and his mother spends very little time at the property. Shinichi is the guy who knows a guy, and he is the team's go-to for any particular items or things that they think they need or probably don't need.
Nice. The rabbit, with this kick catching both of you by surprise, runs further down the street, and and everybody gives chase. And as you start to run down the street, the area seems to change a little bit. Maybe it's a shift in the air. Maybe it's something like synesthesic, but things start to feel a little different.
Cool.
Who else joins the fray?
I was, I think it's time for me to take the stage. So, I think my character, Goin Lapis Blue, sort of as the party chases down this anxiety lapin, there's a sharp corner, and Goin is standing there with what you can infer is a cigarette in his mouth, but there's a giant black bar over it because you can't show minor smoking. So it's censored.
No, this is a Blu-ray release. You're allowed to show the cigarettes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they left the black bar in for 2 frames and just raises into the top of the screen. And he sees the anxiety lapin, and he shoots kind of a strong penetrating glare at the rabbit, and then sort of his expression softens, and he crouches down, and he goes just come with us. It's better for you that way. And I would like to roll convince on this rabbit.
Absolutely, do it. What tags are you going to use?
Let me check my tags real quick. I think I am going to see. I don't believe I have a tag for this, so it's just pure.
Do it raw. Nice.
Pure animal husbandry,
please.
Alright, let me roll that shit.
You're gonna get Tatsumaki kicked from this fucking rabbit, by the way.
God, I hope. So 0 power and convince.
A mild success.
Mild success.
So you choose a relevant status with a tier of, well, it's going to be 1. Even in instances where you roll with 0 power, you still have a level 1 power effect on things. So you can give the rabbit a level 1 status.
I want to give it. So this is an adjective I can come up with myself. I would like it to give it. So what's the opposite of maybe a little trusting, just something that like not fully trusting, but what's a good
Like opening up.
Opening up, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No.
Charitable.
Yes, there we go. I think so. The anxiety part has a level 1 tag of charitable. If this relevant tag gets high enough, it might surrender. But what it does, it basically stops in its track and tilts its head to one side, looking at you quizzically. And it is standing still. What kind of like a pose is Goyne Lapis Blue going to take as the freeze frame occurs?
I think you get the frame of like him, like still crouched, like he's doing a Slav squat, but he's grabbing a cigarette, and there's like half a smile and a raised eyebrow, looking at directly at the camera from like a cool skater bottom view.
Goyne Lapis Blue.
So, that's me. I'm the child of a bad dad and a faraway mom. I like to hang out at the community center. I like cats. I like smoking, but I really shouldn't. And I want to be a pro wrestler someday. But until then, I'm hanging out in alleyways chasing rabbits, I guess.
And let me go and clear that from the screen. Cool. There's only one member left in the gang. I guess at this point, the rabbit target has stopped and is standing still and is just where you want them, Lucian.
Indeed, I think the camera pans up and you see Lucian Harfang standing on a like fire escape stairway above as they glower down and say, "Got you right where I want you." And Lucian is going to jump off and try to land on this thing to pin them.
Oh man.
I think that'll probably be hit with all you've got, I'd imagine.
It's defenseless, so yeah, go for a hit with all you got.
Great. I'm going to invoke the tags 3 steps ahead. And let's see. I think 3 steps ahead is probably the only one I can really get away with here. So, let me just remember how to do this.
Oh no!
Oh!
Boy.
I forgot to click the tag, but I think that only gave me a +1. So,
Yeah, you would be at 6, so it'd still be a miss. Yeah, there is a you go for the flying press.
I think Shinichi looks up in terror, like, "Oh wait, no!"
It's too late. It's already happening. As the freeze frame occurs.
By God, that's Lucian's music.
Lucian Harfang.
Indeed, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started back when I was working as a librarian. So yes, Lucian works as a librarian, and walks a fuzzy line between trying to be the team leader and organizer and also being kind of smug and egotistical.
Lucian is our local Chuny.
Nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, as you descend, the rabbit manages to deftly leap out the way. So does Shinichi. Does somebody? You don't need to roll for this, but who tries to catch Lucian?
I'll try to catch Lucian.
Yeah, you swoop in. You should still have control of your legs, I hope.
I do.
As you descend in, and there's an unceremonious thump as Sabine manages to land, get into place in time, and the rabbit manages to vanish out of your view.
For a twig, Lucian, you're awfully heavy.
Oh, haha. Listen, that didn't make any sense. I clearly had the rabbit pinned. I think there's must be something else going on here.
Maybe you should stop spending so much time watching Korean wrestling with Goin and spend more time working on your plans to catch that rabbit.
Actually, you shouldn't. I think you should keep watching me. But yeah, that was a foul. That was a bummer.
Lucian blushes, and then I think there's like a quick thought bubble. As you can see, Lucian's self-imagined dreams of like high-flying wrestling ring antics shatter and melt away.
Mm-hmm. It seems that the scene has kind of moved on since the rabbit was continuing to kind of run down the alleyway, and it seems you're in a different place from when you started. As you kind of get up off the ground, Lucian, and kind of dust yourself up, you all look up to see that you've reached a strange building. It seems to be a nightclub of some kind, with there's like a long line of shadowy figures waiting outside.
When we go into the collective unconscious, does it like feel different? Like, can we feel the difference in the atmosphere? Okay, does it feel like that?
I think there's like an interesting synesthesiac change when you kind of move into places where the barrier between worlds is thin. Whether that is you kind of taste a weird sensation or feel a weird sensation, or your the hair on the backs of your arms prickles up, you can tell that this place is strange. The strangest thing about this place, though, is that it seems to be a sign for the nightclub, but it is covered in thick red paint. Welcome to Case 1 of Arcana Corps. Speak when you're spoken to.
What an intro.
This is the point where we get to try and do something really adventurous and try and do a whole ass anime opening. So let's go, lads. Let's go. Okay. Right. You're gonna have to bear with me because I have to kick this off. But all of you are prepared. You've been given your information. Let's go. A ground shot of Migdal High School. It's evening as storm clouds roll in. The camera slowly pans up to the sky, revealing several huge eyes among the clouds. As the title screen, Arcana Corps, Mysteries in the Unconscious, appears. We see our 4 protagonists doing daily life things in and around the city of Jungsburg. Lucian, what are you doing?
Lucian is poring over a book in a dark library, running their finger along the word.
Nice. Shinichi.
There'll be a first-person tracing shot between the school's sports field supply shed, the shot of a smiling Shinichi selling dubious contraband to a couple of male and female students dressed in the local uniform. Then there'll be a sudden cut as a shadow following all 3 of them, and the 2 students looking terrified as a large hand lands on Shinichi's shoulder. Cut to a shot of a furious teacher with a flaming aura and a terrified Shinichi being lifted in his vice-like grip.
Sabine is walking down the street in an alley somewhere in the city, hands in the pockets, sort of collar turned up, a very sort of down look over her face. When we get like the vibration of a phone in her pocket, and she pulls it out, and we see her scramble to answer the phone and tries to relax herself as much as she can. And then the camera pans from her like talking on the phone, trying to act, super calm and relaxing. The camera pans behind her. We see like the shadow of this large mech behind her.
Ooh. And Goin.
Goin is like fighting an off-screen opponent in like a wrestling match, in like an actual like, Korean wrestling. He tries to like mix it up a little bit with some WWE move, like a dropkick, which is not a move that you do in Korean wrestling. You keep your both feet on the ground, but he wants to be cool. He completely misses the dropkick, lands on his ass, and you see him sort of like face the camera and has like a cheeky, apologetic smile flashing across his face, and then his eyes go wide as you see like the shadow of an incoming power bomb of his opponent.
There's a smash cut to like spinning and falling tarot cards. In the images of each of them are various figures in distress, almost pressing their hands against some kind of invisible glass. A door to a fortune-telling shop opens to a shadowy figure with an outstretched hand and a wicked grin. And then we see a series of very quick shots of protagonists in the heat of battle. Sabine.
We see Sabine standing back to back with that mech. One quick look on her face, and then another that spins around to see the mech, and there's like an effect of the camera of like blood dripping down the mech.
Mm-hmm. Lucian.
There's a profile view of Lucian dramatically pointing forward, and a beat later, a murder of crows flies at an off-screen target like darts.
Nice. Good.
The incoming shadow of the powerbomb sort of like extends to reveal the shadow of a giant monster, and a giant grin appears on Gorn's face as he's suddenly appearing to be holding a giant Dokaibi club, and he steps up and uses this as a staff, pulls himself up back, and then lines up like a batter, like he's a batter at the base, and lines up the biggest home run of his life.
Mm-hmm. And Shinichi.
Shinichi in some sort of full dapper Victorian gentleman's garb, complete with fake moustache and monocle, dodging and weaving through several faceless fiends until the final one cuts, having just missed a narrow shout, pulling up the walking stick that he's holding, the end revealing some sort of rifle butt which fires a blast of fire into the camera shot.
Mm-hmm. The protagonists all gather together as they face down two shadowy figures, one armed with a book and another with a pen. The two sides launch towards each other with their weapons drawn, and we get a shot of the Arcana Corps logo again, with the four of you posed dramatically in front of it. I'm just gonna let the remainder of the badass opening theme play out.
Amazing.
Fucking
Perfect.
As then we get a shot of a picture.
Okurishmasu.
Let's get some vibes for that as well. It's appropriate vibes for this bowling alley. This is about a day ago. Yeah, about 24 hours ago. Let's go. Yeah. Too loud. There we go. Yes.
It's an excellent song, no matter how loud it is.
Agreed.
I mean.
Yeah, our retainer is actually Monokuma.
About a day ago, there is a shot of the interior of a bowling alley. The lights are on, but the place seems in relatively low use. It is surprisingly dusty in here, as four teenagers with attitude all simultaneously make your way through. There is a surprisingly few things similar about these four people. They all go to the same high school. They're all roughly around the same age. In fact, some of them are classmates with each other. But there's one other thing that it seems that they have recently realized that they all have in common. They're all really weird.
Hey now.
In the last little while, strange things have been happening to the four of you, and it's not like the terrible metaphors for puberty that your health teacher has tried to mention in previous years at your high school. No. This is genuinely weird shit. This is reading books late at night and suddenly the book pages fluttering outside of their control. This is somehow gaining an insight into hand-to-hand combat even though you've never thrown a punch in your life. This is seeing a weird mechanical robotic figure in the mirror late at night. This is hearing the chuckling of some creature, things being misplaced. But before long, you all had another similarity. You all recently had a figure in a black suit and sunglasses approach you as part of your day-to-day and give you an invite, a request of employment to something called Rider. And let's go and have some short scenes of the circumstance we were in. Where were you when the suited figure came and invited you to Rider HQ?
I think Lucian was definitely having a late night at the library, pouring through some books, and upon hearing someone enter, Lucian just looks up and goes, I'm sorry, we're closed. You're going to... Who are you?
They wordlessly walk towards you, towering, your desk lamp light glinting in their dark shades as they proffer you a letter, and then the scene cuts away.
I think for going, he was arriving home after after wrestling training, came back around 8 and in the evening, opens the door and goes, Dad, I'm home. I'll get started on dinner. Sorry I'm so late. And his dad, Delane, and a figure in a suit are at the coffee table, and they both turn toward Goin. And I think Delane said something like, it's time for you to get a job. And the scene fades.
I'll do mine. Yep. I think Sabine is leaving sort of a brown brick, sort of assuming, nothing too fancy building that says, Dr. Smith or whatever, therapy. So she's leaving therapy, and this black-suited figure is standing outside and approaches her. She takes the card and she looks it over and she's like, I can't have a job. I'm on probation. Sorry.
Don't worry. This one, I think you will find, will behoove your current situation.
And she looks interested. Yeah.
As the scene cuts away. Shinichi?
Probably late at night in relatively lashing rain. Shinichi will be there trying to repair the chain, which has obviously gone on his delivery bike with its various boxes of what look like pizzas and delivery food on the back. You'll see someone coming out of the shadows towards him, fumbling one of the boxes, and what look like several packets of illicit cigarettes rolling out of the pizza box. He goes, so, can I help?
It's fine. Don't worry. I think I have a job proposition for you that might be a little more suitable than what you've currently been assigned. And as we cut back to this particular scene, it seems the invite that you were all given was to the Starlight Lanes bowling alley? This place, as far as all of you have been aware, has been closed for ages. And I don't know whether any of you would really feel especially enthused about the idea of working for a bowling alley, but everything about this is so strange that you're at least, whether you're interested in it for actual work or just curious to see what the heck this job opportunity even is. And as you all, I think you all kind of like serendipity means you all kind of gather outside roughly around the same time and just kind of like bum about in the lobby of this bowling alley for a while before somebody comes to see you all. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Do you think we're going to have to wear those bowling shoes?
I was kind of more optimistic. It might be something other than working in a bowling alley. I had all sorts of conspiracies running through my head. But this I want to say is a little disappointing, but...
I mean, this... I doubt this is a grand reopening. Whatever's going on here is clearly something greater than throwing some balls down a lane.
I don't know.
If I lay my eyes on 2 shoes with my name on them, I'm walking out of here.
you think they'll let us have free nachos?
You look at the dusty surroundings and consider how edible the nachos might be.
I don't want to pay for those nachos.
The question is whether the jukebox is still going to work.
I swear to God, if you put on any sort of old school rock, I might walk out myself.
Nothing like a bit of folk music will keep things a bit live, right?
Yeah. Goin walks over to the jukebox. Hey, there's Leonard Skinnerd.
Nope.
All right. There's Bandau Ballet.
Less of a nope.
Lucian just kind of whoops up behind you. What is Scatman's World?
Put that one on.
It's like an opera, right?
Is that our employer?
I'll get copyright stricken by Twitch if I do that. As you start to argue over what to play on the jukebox, a figure kind of politely coughs from behind you. They are a man in about their mid-40s, late 40s? Mid-40s. Still managing to wear sunglasses indoors, salt and pepper around the temples. They have big dad energy, I think would probably be the best way to describe them. Ah, yes, these, you are all here for me, I believe. My name is Andrew Fields, or Agent Fields. It is a pleasure to meet you four. And he goes over and tries to proffer a hand for a handshake.
Sonichi will certainly step forward and nice to meet you, Andy. He'll say, pulling his sleeve back, and you'll note at least two absolutely genuine SIPO watches that are decorating his wrist as he'll shake Andy's hand, Agent Fields' hand.
Pleasure to meet you. He clocks the watches, doesn't say anything. He's too polite. I realize that this is probably an interesting circumstance or an interesting location to invite people to for employ, but I do have very interesting employ for all of you. Feel free to take a load off, sit comfortably. He leans on one of the registration machines for a game.
A monitor above him turns on and you see like Garfield was bowling against Big Daddy a couple of years ago. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, Lucian's giving him a very suspicious look. That's why Lucian is apparently hovering at the ceiling right now. No,
God damn it, Lucian, get down.
I think Sabine looks over to Agent Fields and is just, well, I can't say that this is what I expected. When you told me you had a job offer, I figured with somebody with my record it would be digging ditches or working at McDonald's or something.
Yes, I was given your file. Don't worry. This isn't additional probation heavy labor. Although, we are more than happy to put in repeated good words to your parole officer if you continue to assist. But anyway, I should probably explain some of the overarching bits and pieces. I am a member of an organization called Ryder. And he looks kind of like sheepish, and his sunglasses kind of fog over. You're going to think this absolutely ridiculous, but bear with me. We are investigators of the supernatural.
Huh?
So you're like ghost hunters, like Zach Bacon's in this bowling alley somewhere?
Well, the barrier between realities is surprisingly thin here. It's why we set up.
Goin does a perfect impression of Zach of the ghost hunter going, "Hey there, demons! It's me, ya boy."
Sabine, I think, does laugh at that spot-on impression, obviously.
I think Lucian thinks about the fact that this bowling alley has a particularly thin barrier with with the supernatural and just like glances above the monitor, or glances at the monitor above Agent Fields that has Garfield's score on it. Watches the score just like momentarily flicker from like 180 to some indecipherable.
666.
Yeah, 666, obviously. Yeah.
There it is. Never mind, it's that. Anime sweat drop.
Oh well, you all took that news surprisingly well. This is good. This is good. The agents picked a good group. We picked a good group.
Well, hold on, Fields. I don't think I have quite taken anything. Well, I still think that this is maybe a hidden camera show or something, but I guess you can keep going.
Yes. Well, how to put this? We are, and many other people in the world, we are fueled by fiction. How we understand the world, we put into words on the page, and the words on the page reflect the world in turn. That relationship between us and storytelling is so powerful. That creativity, the ability to tap into that world of fiction, is so potent that there are certain individuals who can manifest unusual powers. In fact, why not think back to possibly recently? I'm sure there's been weird things happening with you in your daily lives, things that you cannot explain.
Yeah, I've been hearing like weird goblinoid laughter sometimes.
Are you sure that's just not your inner monologue?
I was thinking it might be like a weird pop-up on like wrestling sites, but even when my computer's off, I hear the goblin.
You actually,
any of you?
You genuinely hear everybody in the room hears in the background.
So yeah, that one. Did anyone hear that?
Fuck.
Is that a ringtone?
I was gonna say the same thing.
I think it might be like Crazy Frog too, but I'm not sure.
Better have hands up this time.
No, seriously, I heard that too. In fact, that might be your mythos, young man.
My mythos?
Yes. Something or someone or somewhere from the realm of fiction has taken a shining to the potency of your imagination.
Huh.
Okay. Let's you, and he points over towards Lucian. Why don't you? What strange things have been happening to you lately? Any interesting, unexplainable occurrences?
Well, I don't know if I'd say unexplainable. I'm not able to explain it, but certainly, there have been times when I have been poring over some books and it's gotten particularly late, and well. You know the phrase "read between the lines"? It's an uncomfortably literal manifestation of that. It does feel like the more I can focus on an old book, I'll start to draw new thoughts, new images from it, just from the gaps in the text.
And I'm sure that is something you can do right now. In fact, demonstrate. Do you have any books on you at the moment?
Do I have it? Of course I have a book on me.
Goin leans over to Shinichi real quick and goes, he's usually so stuck up, but he's really getting into this.
He is. I think it's playing. He's playing into it a bit more than I thought he would.
No. This is completely.
Where did he pull Copy of the War and Peace from?
Lucian reaches into their book bag, pulls out the fountainhead, then goes, ugh! And then drops it on the ground. Ugh!
Why was that even in your bag?
I don't know!
Drugs.
And he...
Maybe one that you would prefer to read from.
Yeah. And Lucian takes out Crime and Punishment.
Set it on and points over to like a countertop. Just kind of close your eyes and concentrate for me. I would like you to give me a change the game roll, please.
Certainly.
If you fail, you have no mythos.
Tanichi
Back to character creation for you.
You immediately die, reroll your character. Welcome. Your new character is
Smarkus Blorkus. Welcome.
Marcus.
Sanichi will lean back to going at this point and comment, I got most of the way through the crime bit, got very boring when it got to the punishment section.
Yo,
Can't
you know,
imagine why.
Gotta say, when the punishment hits, like, damn, you really start thinking about crime.
Lucian, what tags would you like to use for this change the game roll?
Well, I'd certainly like to use Manifest Literary Magic.
Mhm.
Let's see. And reading between the lines.
Sure, absolutely.
I think that will be enough.
Mhm.
So, I swear to God, did I just close that? Okay. And now, roll to change the game, you said.
Miss.
Lucian is dead.
Yeah.
So what happens is that you concentrate, the book starts to rise in the air in front of you, and the pages by themselves start flipping, and all of you can see this happen. And then something about it, you kind of get distracted, like you open your eyes and see this book floating, and go and you lose control of it, and it starts almost with bird-like behavior, flapping around the room, pecking at you and other people in the room. You all just genuinely kind of get chased around a bit by this book before Lucian manages to get it back under control and stuffs it back into their book bag again.
Don't try to read, kids. It'll kill you.
Okay, this is all your fault. Lucian turns to the fountainhead lying on the ground.
As I say, you are all astoundingly gifted. Your youth and your creativity has awoken you all to a mythos. And that's just the kind of people that we need to solve the strange occurrences in this city.
Are you sure you want to rely on teenagers for this? I mean, you said you have my file, so you know what baggage I'm coming with. We're your first choice.
He looks sheepish again. Well, that's just the thing. As people age and understand the world more, and lose some of their youthful joy and imagination, the mythos starts to slip away from them. We can't approach anyone other than teenagers, really. I had a mythos once, and I still can just about remember the incantations, the abilities that it was able to provide me, but it's weak. I can't do much on my own. So
That's kind of sad. I feel for you, Fields.
Andy, did you like get jaded? What happened?
He removes his sunglasses and looks at you. Capitalism happened, my boy.
Well,
He watched the Joker going.
Going just looks like did not expect that response.
You're not sure whether he's joking or not.
Right.
Tries to really mull it over. Doesn't get anywhere.
Lucian's face becomes the pensive emoji.
Tanichi's going to step forward slightly and explain this. It's there's definitely been a few odd moments where I almost feel like the focus has changed, where it's almost like I'm doing things, but someone else is almost picking it up and leading the reins a little. I mean, probably you're obviously coming to us a bit out of the blue, but perhaps it'd be maybe if you could tell us a little bit more about who exactly you're working for. Are we talking a government thing, or is this, there's some hidden danger that you may feel a little bit guilty about, and I would like to make some sort of check.
Okay, yeah. I guess it might be
probably going to be.
investigate.
Yeah, we're going to go with investigate, and I'm going to stick on tags for that of let's have a think for a second. I'm going to go for the Napoleon of Crime tag, weaken one's faith, as it's almost playing on this vague level of guilt that he might have. but also possibly in the leaning of the he'll feel better talking to us about this, and lean the perfect pitch tag onto that as well from my
yes,
personality.
Absolutely. Okay, go and roll with 2 power. Hey,
Nice. That's our first good roll, even through even through our practice session.
It's a real number. So yes, you gain 2 clues essentially, because you rolled with power 2. You get to essentially ask Agent Fields 2 questions, and he will answer in really good detail to the best of his ability.
How dangerous? What's the risks of these mythos?
Well, for most, it's actually very minimal. Many people are only graced, just touched lightly by a mythos. They awaken to something strange. They have interesting powers for a while. Somebody calls it childish imaginations or playing fairy tale games. They doubt themselves and it goes away. Others will believe it fully. They explore it more. They gain impressive supernatural ability. But it always takes work to balance your mythos and your mundane. You never want to lose sight of who you are. After all, you are not the story. You are only being blessed to tap into it, after all. I, myself, tried to keep my mythos at arm's length, and that was good for keeping me a reasonable agent of Ryder, but it meant that my powers were not especially strong. There were others that drank deep from the well of the stories, and, well, some of them aren't working for the company anymore. But you're right in that this is a government organization. Good guess.
So the next question seems from Sale. He'll lean back, putting his arms behind his head against one of the counters. How do we profit from this then? What's in it for us? And flash a grin.
Well, as miners, there are certain checks and balances we have to make in terms of paying you legally, but you will find that we pay considerably more than a part-time job in a supermarket.
Damning
or
with
as
fate.
a delivery company, as you might be familiar with, Shinichi.
Well, I have to imagine there's going to be more risk to the job than working at a... Well, depends on the supermarket, maybe, but...
He laughs quite warmly in character. I think the voice I've given him is posher than I want him to be.
It's good.
Well, we'll navigate. Agent Field shows up a lot, so it's fine. We'll work out what his voice is eventually. He's a bit warmer. Yes. Yes. I guess to be a bit more candid, I can offer you, at least for your trial period working with us, the first maybe 6 months or so, we can offer you this kind of figure. And he does the whole writing a number down on the card and passing it over to the 4 of you. And you take a glance at it, and Jungsburg is a city that is everywhere and nowhere, so I don't especially really want to tie a specific kind of economy or currency type to it, at least not for now. Maybe as we go we can work out whether it's pound sterling or just nebulously dollars or whatever.
It's doll hairs.
I think we can just safely say that Agent Fields produces a big sack with a $sign on it and places it down as just a universal way to establish that it is a lot of money.
It's the emotional equivalent of that on a card. Not so absurd that people would, question why a teenager has this large amount of money. I think this is kind of oh man, you have astoundingly rich parents. This is the monthly allowance a ridiculously celebrity parent might give their kid level money.
It's a lot of yen sterling.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know whether I hate that or not. Ask me later. But before I can start offering that kind of money to you, we do have a short kind of trial period. Largely, though, it's essentially community work. As members of the government in this country, we do have an arrangement with local law establishments, and we are able to get you to assist on small-scale matters, nothing too dangerous for teenagers, but just a mundane case. They're usually mundane. You never quite know, he raises an eyebrow, which mundane issues turn out to be something unusual. But I do have a report, he pulls out a smartphone, that there has been a missing persons report. A student who goes to Migdal High, which I believe the four of you do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes, a one student by the name Yusuke Tenma, and he, I think it's on the like overhead readouts for the bowling alleys, a picture, a photograph of a person appears, like their student ID card. I did art. I drew some art. It's not very good, but I do my best.
Yay!
You're doing great, honey.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, Yusuke Tenma, 18, goes to Migdal
We're
High.
also 18.
Yes, I'm aware.
He said he's 18. We're 18 too.
Which is why I figured that you might know him. Yes,
You got through the joke. You're good. Tammy's good.
Out of character, I don't know what you were trying to do there.
18, as in A.
Oh,
dash.
right.
A space teen.
Agent feels is oblivious to this joke. I'm sorry.
And Sabine walks out. She's done. Bye. Going.
I'm pretty sure I sold some photos to him at some point. And then he'll look at the eyes around the room. I mean, obviously nothing bad. Dude just passing through.
Yeah, I probably passed him in the hall, I think. He's got one of those familiar faces.
Yes, he has been apparently missing for about 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
Huh.
Yes, about 5 days. The missing persons report was filed by another student within your school, Maki Rahim, and another image appears on one of the boards. Who I believe is a member of the student council in your school. Quite a popular one, so I hear.
Yeah. She gets around, that's for sure. In a non-sexual way, I know how that sounds.
It's a thing that immediately strikes you is that Maki is definitely known by most people in the school. She is definitely one of the quote-unquote popular ones. Not that she's especially kind of like mean or does much with it, but she's just, pretty broadly well-liked in the school. Yusuke, on the other hand, you've seen him. He's clearly in the same school year as Sabine and Goin, I believe Sabine and Lucian are both 18. And
no, Sabine's younger.
Yeah, so I think Sabine and Sonichi were in the same class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucian is 18.
Lucian
and Goin are together.
By being in the same year as the both of you. You've seen Yusuke before, but I don't think you've never spoken to him. He's definitely a shy one. How on earth were they, it strikes you how they might know each other, considering one is super popular and another you have maybe learnt their name. You didn't know that Yusuke's surname was Tenma until today.
Well, there might be weird connections between these people, but think about how we're all together. I don't think if someone from school saw us all leaving this abandoned bowling alley together, they would expect us to have hung out. So, who knows? Strange things happen.
Yeah, look, got invited to work at a haunted arcade. I don't know.
See, Goin? Now you get it.
Sonichi will point out the thing at Maki is like, yeah, look, she can smile for a photograph, can't she? All glares.
Wow.
Lucian says, "I can smile," and you just see the side of their lips slightly curl up.
Twitch.
Like the middle of your mouth stays just like a downward curve, but your like the edges start going up, so it just looks like you're doing like the beginning of a W.
Yes.
Doing a cat mouth smile.
So we got in touch with Maki, Ms. Rahim, and she is awaiting a member of the how did we put it? Neighborhood Watch, I think is what we said. To go and follow up with her. She is currently waiting at Migdal High. So if you all wouldn't mind, if you are interested in taking up the job and becoming one of the few teams in Jungsburg under Ryder, how would you like taking up this mission?
We gotta go back to school. Listen, I quite like my spot on the go home club. This is a lot for me to handle.
This is outside of school hours. School's done for today, don't worry. But
I mean, it's still going back to the building. You don't understand the labor that is on my head, right? The brain, the emotional labor. You guys get what I'm talking about.
No, what is that?
Well,
Agent feels it's nonplussed.
I'll talk to you later about it, Coin.
listen, if we don't take care of this, I don't know who will.
Well,
You're right.
I was.
I know.
I was gonna say the cops, but I don't think. Yeah.
Agent Fields kind of sighs heavily and says, there are cases that the local police force would be interested in taking, and there's cases that they are less interested in taking, and it seems that these days, cases that benefit the mayor are ones that they like to focus on these days.
Yeah, no, I've experience with police not caring about missing persons, so we should probably help out. I think we should help out.
I'm in.
I'm game.
Very good, very good. You all have smartphones?
It is the current year.
It is current.
I don't know, some people like to be Luddites.
Give me a second, so Sonichi will pick about 3 burner parents. That one, yes, I do.
Do you give everybody burner phones? Because that's really cute.
It's like the cheapest thing you could ever get your hands on.
I'm really resisting the temptation to give Lucian a Motorola Razr flip phone.
It might work on that. Agent scopes Lucian's flip phone. After all,
What do you mean? It flips.
after all, I suppose this is partially fictional and not necessarily a technological conceit. And he closes his eyes for a little bit, and text starts scrolling across the front of his shades, almost kind of like, Matrix code. And he mutters under his breath, "Hermes." And all of your phones go off, or I guess Lucian's flip phone and 3 burner phones from Sonichi.
God damn it.
3 different, slightly untimed or unlined up, Motorola ringtones go off.
And it seems, despite some of these phones being quite old, an app has been installed on it.
Oh, you're one of those.
What's the microtransaction policy on this, Sonichi?
He chuckles. Surprise mechanics are against our policy.
Shinichi asked, "Can I get paid in Bitcoin?"
We let nerds on this team. She punches you in the shoulder.
Ow, ow.
The paycheck said we were getting paid in solid gold bars.
We're getting paid in Eurobucks, right?
Yeah. We'll address that piece of canon maybe another time. But yes, so that'll be a secure connection. So under instances where we need to contact you, or you'll need to contact each other, feel free to use that. Unfortunately, it is less effective in places where, as I say, the reality is thin. Turns out that it's very difficult to get cell phone service in another world.
I guess they haven't thought about that before.
It probably wouldn't work here then.
I'm It's conduited through me and a handful of other agents I'm standing quite close by. So.
Oh, okay.
But yes, under some circumstances you might find that your technology does not work as intended. Don't worry, I will still be able to contact you. He smiles and his glasses glint. But with that, do you all have any other questions?
Yeah.
How dangerous is this for us?
Well, it's a missing persons report. If it gets too dangerous and it feels like you are going to have to step out, we can send in other agents. You are not the only team that will be operating here. Team Gamma are also available. You don't know what it is, but the idea of Team Gamma just rubs you the wrong way.
We will absolutely not be calling on Team Gamma on any circumstances.
Hold on. If there's a Team Gamma, what are we? What's our team name called?
Yes, it would be Team Delta. If
I don't
you
want to. No.
If
no,
you
we're not.
want to find another name between yourselves, I am more than happy to accommodate, as long as it's just something that wouldn't get me in trouble. He smiles.
Dad fuckers.
Genuinely smiles. It's not a sly word. While I love the boldness of that name, I don't think I would find it especially appropriate for me to swear in front of the people that I'm supposed to be handling.
Yeah,
it seems like an awfully presumptuous name too.
You don't think I could get a dad if I tried?
What did you all think about it while you go into the field?
Why don't you all get a dad?
Why don't you just get a father figure, please?
Obtain dad.
Dad get.
I don't have a graphic for dad get. I'm sorry. But yes, I think from there. Is there anything else you would like to say before we move to the next scene?
As we
go ahead. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Fields, as you know, I have a very strict schedule for places I can and can't be with my whole parole thing. I'm assuming that I'll either not be called out after hours, or if I do, then the government will wave its magic wand and make sure I don't end up back in juvie for helping, for saving the world or whatever it is we're planning on getting up to here.
Just making sure that any supernatural things that might damage the people of this city are looked after or handled. While you're on the job, and you are currently on the job, don't worry about any parole things, although obviously if you do something notably illegal, that is... He kind of puts his hands up. There's not too much I can do about that. But you're not going to be hounded by a parole officer while you're on the job, or at least you shouldn't be.
Alright, then I guess that's my only question.
Very good. It's, I've already taken the shining to you four. I hope we'll get on swimmingly. And, yeah, he gives you another genuine smile.
Yeah, good. Nice to meet you, Andy.
Yeah, be a pleasure to work with you.
And
Looking forward to it, Fields.
One more question.
Oh, yes, of course.
So how did you find us?
There's something about people who have awakened to their mythos. You can sense it, or at least some members of our organization can. Members of people who awaken to mythos are almost supernaturally drawn together. There are very few coincidences in stories, after all.
Very few coincidences in life, says Shinichi somewhat quietly out of...
Sounds like a man of God, Shinichi.
He grins, smiles.
Quite the opposite, says Shinichi.
It feels... I think you'll be surprised how quickly you've entered into the first chapter of your own personal story, Mr. Mori.
Well,
And, yeah, go ahead.
Let's hope it's eventful but profitable.
And with that, I think the scene changes. So I'm just gonna move all of y'all here
The
for a
bowling
second.
screens of faces of Yusuke and Maki turn into like two bowling pins, and then a giant bowling ball with that mallet chases them down off screen.
Knocks out their front teeth.
Yeah.
Choose side of the token. Dynamic location switching. And the music also changes.
So glad to be working with you all, I guess.
But
This is
oh
super weird.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh my god. Music.
I really like the song. It's very calming.
I put an important artifact in Twitch chat, by the way.
Oh. I will glance at that on my phone. Well, it loads. Yeah, it is an after like a. Actually, yeah, no. Today's a Saturday. Today is a Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon. And Maki is kind of kicking her heels by the entrance of the school, just kind of nervously looking around, waiting for somebody to show up. And before long, feel free to place yourselves in the scene as thou wilt.
Who's got the nicest face of all of us? Sunichi, you go talk to her.
Okay. Fine.
Look at you, you're a baby face. Go get him.
It's true. You don't look like you could hurt a flea.
Indeed. Do I have? Where's my character chit gone? There we go.
Okay. While you're placing yourselves, I have seen the Dad Get graphic that Will has put together.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, that is definitely the kind of when I was commissioning the artwork of Agent Fields, and I was approaching Anna, being kind of like, okay, so hot dad.
And she was like, I got you, fam.
No, absolutely. She was very, very ready to go and draw me a hot dad. But yes.
Can an artist really be an artist if they're not ready at the drop of a hat to draw a hot dad? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
That's the master's test.
Mm-hmm. But yes, Maki notices Sunichi approaching.
So Sunichi will stride out, and you were doing that thing in the background. All right, Sunichi, keep it cool. We've got this.
Oh,
Maki. Hi.
She says hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. And as she steps like away from the shadows, and she kind of she has really, really long hair and carries like a light pashmina scarf that she carries over one shoulder, and she runs her hand through her hair, and like proper like shoujo anime, it catches the light in slow motion kind of deal. Raven
Sunichi
black.
will do that thing, holding his hand to his nose in that very sort of shonen top. Yes. Yes. Thanks for meeting with us.
Oh, no problem at all.
Let me introduce you to some of my friends who are just coming over here right now, aren't you all? Glance around the corner, like glaring.
No.
Lucian just right behind Shinichi. Oh, hi.
Goin just like, raises up from behind the car he was hiding behind. And
See, Bean and Goin are like looking at each other like that episode of Always Sunny, like across the room.
Yes. You all must be members of the Neighborhood Watch. So you're here to assist. Thank you.
Yep.
I really appreciate it. I'm really worried about him.
Yep. Neighborhood Watch Delta at your service. God, that sounds terrible, Sister Teacher. I can't believe if I said that out loud.
She blinks a couple times but doesn't question it. Yes. So, Yusuke, have you met him before?
In passing, I know of him. I don't think he's bought anything off me recently.
That's understandable. He's rather shy. But we get on great. She flashes a one-day valedictorian smile. That part of you wonders why she's not at the really expensive tech college on Elysium Island. Yes, a little while ago, he and I were having a conversation. Things got a little heated, and I haven't seen him since. And she looks away.
Did you have a fight?
No, I would never fight with him. I was just asking after his best interests.
What
was the conversation about, if you don't mind me asking?
Her eyes look like she wants to answer, but she keeps her mouth shut. It seems like you might have to do a little bit of convincing to get her to open up.
So we can't really help you out if we don't know like where he might have gone after, because you said you haven't seen him after this discussion, so something upset him maybe.
I mean, at least I tried to pass by his house, but nobody answered the door, and I know that the parents are in. So
Right.
maybe he just doesn't want to speak to me anymore.
No answer even from the parents, huh?
But like really, I think like knowing what might have set him off, like I just think we need to be informed, you know, as the neighborhood watch Delta, and like go and looks at Shinichi.
She sort of shrugs when she's not looking.
Is somebody going to who would like to make a convince roll for me to move things ahead a little bit?
Oh, Sabine, no good at social. She will pass on this one.
Sonichi might actually step up for this again.
Go.
Possibly sort of pitch the sort of thing. If you're able to at least maybe give us an idea of why he's upset, or perhaps areas that he might have gone to, perhaps. So I'll make a convince with a perfect pitch tag.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's probably all we've got. So convince. Pow.
Full success.
Ooh.
Yeah. You don't need to attach his status to her. Although, actually, just for the mechanics of the thing, what kind of tag are you giving Maki for this conversation?
Helpful.
Absolutely. Obviously, if you said something kind of like weeping or whatever, that would reflect the roleplay. So I'll get into the mindset of remembering what tags you assign, so I act the correct way. But helpful.
I'll remember to pick something funnier next time.
If you pick something super spicy, I might veto it. But I'm just letting you guys know what the mechanics are.
What would you like? Yandere, please. What?
She pulls a knife.
Hey, excuse me?
God. Yes. So Oh, she massages the temple. I promise I wouldn't say to anybody, Yusuke, but I think my hands are tied here. So, Yusuke has a hobby. In recent years, or at least in about the last year, 9 months, he's gotten really into theatre performance and everything recently. And then he said that he really wanted to start doing drag artistry, but he's been really, really shy and nervous about mentioning it to other people. So I said I'd keep my mouth shut, but I'd support him anywhere I could. I went shopping for him, managed to get makeup because he wasn't super comfortable in going himself, and I helped him the best I could. I'm not really one for anything beyond a nice bit of eyeliner, but he came back really dejected last week when we had lunch, and I asked him what was wrong, and I was kind of he'd a competition or something. He was still really cagey about it. It's like all the progress he'd made about opening up to me had locked all the way back down again. And when I said that maybe he should take a break, he stormed off. And I don't know, I'm just worried. It's not like I was going to tell anybody.
Yeah. No, that's really helpful, and I think we can all give our word that we're not gonna tattle on Yusuke. Like this is for his safety, right?
Of course.
Do you happen to know where he would perform?
Not really. He was the whole process of this slowly opening up to me about the circumstances was also him being a bit cagey about what name he performs under or where.
I guess we could just go ahead. Sorry, Maki.
No, it's okay. There's a bunch of nightclubs that are, LGBT friendly on Festival Coast, and I assume he's probably performing at one of those. But
I mean, we go to nightclubs all the time, says Sonichi suddenly. It's
oh yeah, you definitely seem like the nightclub type, Sonichi.
Nodding slightly and convincingly.
There's a dream bubble with Shinichi where he's sitting at a bar. He's like twice as big, his jawline for a match.
He's got like a purple pimp suit on, like a big V-neck.
It's probably then this possible cut of Sonichi and one of his clothes who's convinced he's like sat on the shoulders of in a big trench coat with a fake mustache and giant hair going, yes, I am 18. When were you born? 1963.
That's 118 is, yes.
Give me your liquor. I am able to consume it legally.
Give me a beer. Drink one, thank you.
I will drink a beer.
Oh god, I entirely lost my train of thought because of the goofs. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Oh, we're sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We goofed too much.
So, yes, I couldn't really tell you what particular club he performs at or anything, but when we went to when I was buying makeup and stuff with him, we went to the Anima Pavilion. It's a gigantic mall in downtown. I don't know what she explains it like it's obscure. This is the largest mall in the city. You've absolutely been there a bunch of times.
Yeah. Sabine's like, I might have heard of it once or twice.
Going as like the frustration hashtag symbol. Like, oh, thank you for telling us what the most well-known mall in the city is. But continue.
She flushes. Sorry. But also she regains steam. Maybe if you pass by their house, the parents might be more receptive to you.
Alright, but you said that the parents wouldn't open.
Maybe they're not opening for Maki though.
If this was all about an argument or whatever, they might be not answering for me, but they might answer for somebody else.
Maybe we can get that confirmation if the parents are maybe on a trip or something.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to be careful talking about this to the parents, because if we get a hold of them, like, we need to make sure.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not about to go announcing that anyone's a drag queen in front of their parents.
No, of course, no. Sorry. And Going actually looks apologetic. And it's like, sorry, I shouldn't have assumed. It's a weird warning.
She brushes it off.
Just as long as I know that he's okay. That's the most important thing.
We'll do our best.
Absolutely.
You can tell that she's almost about to cry. It seems that she cares about him quite a bit. Thank you so much.
No.
Listen, Maki, don't worry about it. This is what the Neighborhood Watch is for, right?
Neighborhood Watch Delta.
Watch Delta.
Delta.
Double.
Yeah, she ain't going to high five.
Nailed it.
I'm about to show you both the Neighborhood Watch Omega if you keep this up.
Yes, Sabine. We're sorry, Sabine.
Yes, I am. I hope that you're able to find out and hope that they're okay. Best of luck to you all. I should probably get home. I have a lot of studying to do.
Thanks, Maki. Have a safe trip.
See ya. And she
Stay safe.
makes her way out of the away from the school and back home. And we are all going to move to the map screen.
I swear, if any one of you suggests to Fields that we name ourselves the Neighborhood Watch, I will leave the group.
And you'll start Neighborhood Watch Omega, and
I will start Neighborhood Watch Omega, and it'll be me and myself.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm having this odd moment of premonition that is going to involve at least one of us putting on a wig. This is in the next couple of days to try and get into somewhere.
I volunteer Senichi.
I don't.
Twink.
Out of character. I'm not about to force you into that kind of circumstance. Don't worry.
Listen,
Oh,
Ruben and I have already force-femmed one of our co-players before. We won't do it again.
Wait, the player or their character?
Yes.
I was in that campaign. It's true. Right. Okay, focusing. Keep it together, Nathan Blades. So yes, you are all here in Red Brick. I have little pins for places that you can visit on the map. It seems that there are two sensible locations you can visit with the clues that you have at hand. The Anima Pavilion in... Oh, let's not open the log information. There we go. Anima Pavilion in downtown. And Yusuke Tenma's house in the Heights.
Of course, he's a Heights boy.
The Heights is a very bougie part of the city for for those who don't know.
Going doesn't like going there.
That's where the ice cream place is, though.
I was just thinking that.
Typical Heitzers.
Heights. I think we need to go either to the Heights to talk to, his parents, or we can start at the mall. Either way works for me.
The map will change depending on what you do, so please let me know which one you would like to go to.
I think parents would be a good shot because we're not exactly going to be sharing a lot of information with them, so I think the chance that we're going to find something that will change how we interact with them it's
A quick
possible, but...
Let me grab a few
Right.
books and some papers from the lockers. And we can at least have the excuse that he's not been around a bit. We heard he wasn't very well, and we're here to drop off some homework or something.
Clever idea.
Wait, Sunichi, do you have his lock? Oh, never mind. I know how you're gonna get in there.
Oh!
Just shut up.
Wait, I've got it. And Lucian picks up that copy of the Fountainhead that they tossed to the ground. Oh, we'll use this. I don't think anyone's going to miss it.
Absolutely. And
Right.
with that resolved, we head in there. Cool. I have, while you were all discussing, I changed the map. There we go.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's
Going from the house.
I enjoy the way that I've managed to be able to put in multiple backgrounds in one scene. It's actually been very efficient.
I like this neighborhood. It looks like any town USA.
Mm-hmm. It's quiet out here. This is definitely the standard relatively rich suburbia. There's a plastic swing set out front, assumedly from when Yusuke was a kid. The house, all the houses are painted in a similar shade of light beige, although you notice that this house is about 3 shades paler than the other cream houses on the row.
Everyone approaches with an ice cream cone with 2 scoops.
Yeah, you
Sabine has a nice coffee.
You stop by the Trandafir Rose ice cream parlor.
Of course.
Which is a map that I have not prepared for this particular session because it's not been plot relevant, but it is a location.
Unprofessional DM.
How did
We
I
will
not
make
every
it relevant.
every single location in the game I needed to make in advance, otherwise I'm
Yes.
a bad GM. God.
Oh my god. What is the population of Jungsburg? I need everything. What's their local crop? Give me all of the information.
What are their names?
There are some people who are super into doing that, and I am absolutely not one of those people.
No, I'm not even close to being a GM like that. That shit's like way too crazy.
Oh gosh.
Art of going eating his favorite coffee and lemon ice cream.
Oh, well,
God.
if everybody donates to the Patreon, patreon.com/PhantomArtSense,
Yeah, fundraiser.
then we can go and get the money to finally give Goin some ice cream. Anyway, yeah, you can tell that this is Yusuke's house. It's very quiet out here. There's like bird song in the background, maybe a lawnmower in the far distance, but it's pretty quiet.
Well, again, I have to volunteer somebody else. Parents and I don't necessarily get along.
So, wait, I have an idea. We don't have to go in with the 3 of us, but I think we might. This is my guess. Like, we're all teens, and teens hide personal information in their rooms. I know this from Law and Order. I've watched that, and
I'm
maybe,
sorry.
I would have thought you knowing teenagers would have been a better source here, or being a teenager, but...
Do you think that Goin can really relate to anybody on that level? No, it makes sense that he gets all of his cultural information from television.
Harsh but fair.
I don't know things that much, but I do know that while you're distracting the parents, like Shinichi and Lucian, maybe like I can break into maybe just scoop up and go into the room.
I can give you a boost on my back, maybe?
Yeah, like that.
Please don't break any windows.
I won't.
What kind of person do you think Goin is? He would at least try to open it first before punching it.
Yeah, I don't have a criminal record.
It's all right, Lucian. We've got plausible deniability. It'll be fine.
Sabine, it echoes in the back of your mind, Agent Fields. If you commit a crime,
crime.
Oh shit. Fuck.
It's not
Just don't break any windows, please.
It's not a crime to give anyone a boost.
That's true.
not-
I'm just lifting up my friends.
Why do I feel like I can? Yeah, Lucian turns to Shinichi and says, "Why do I feel like they probably don't think it's a crime if they don't get caught?"
That's a fair point. Sabine, if given certain situations, if you want to try the front, I'll help going, because I'm pretty sure I at least know a couple of people who I can speak to if the boys in blue turn up and press things.
Yeah, that might be better. I'll just remember that they're not my parents, so I don't feel the need to snap at them. Sure, I'll take the front.
Understood. I just met Shinichi looking up at the presumably slightly much better built going and go, so I'm lifting you, right?
I guess Sabine's going in through the front door at the bottom with Lucian, and fine, Shinichi. Yeah, let's just say that this is their house for argument's sake.
Naturally.
Who would we like to focus on first?
I think the front doors.
Yeah, sure. We'll start the distraction, and then we'll see what happens after.
Yeah. Who knocks?
I think Lucian...
I knock and then stand behind Lucian.
A couple of beats pass, and then the door opens, and you see a relatively ordinary-looking lady, Caucasian, about 44. No, older than that. She's 50. And she's like, "Oh, good afternoon. Is how can I help?"
Hi, hello. I'm so sorry to bother you. Are you perhaps Yusuke's mother?
She there's a beat, and then she says, "Yes, I'm Vilma, Yusuke's mother. How is something wrong? Why are you asking after Yusuke?"
Homework.
Ah, I see. Well,
Lucian produces the book, and I think avoids showing the title of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, in fact, there were some questions that I wanted to ask about Yusuke, actually. Would you mind stepping inside for a moment?
Lucian, do I have to?
No, it's fine. You can stay out there. I'm happy. Sure, I'll come inside.
No, I'm not gonna leave you. Fine. Thank you for the invite, ma'am. Sabine is so uncomfortable.
Oh no, but I insist. After all, I just finished brewing a pot of tea for Yusuke's dad, Shohei, and I. And we absolutely have room for another cup.
And Sabine, you look so dehydrated. I think that would do you great right now.
Gee, thanks, my friend.
No problem.
Like, coffee. Wait, coffee doesn't hydrate. This is a setup. It's a trap. Sabine, get out of there.
As the two of you step inside, we cut to the back of the building for Team Neighborhood Watch Delta Sneaking Division.
Team Neighborhood, watch us break this window.
Okay, so I put my hands like this and just have to. Ow! Ow, my fingers.
It's like a montage of first, Shinichi making a bridge with his hands so Goin can step up. That doesn't work because Shinichi's going ow, 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 ow. Then Goin tries to jump up on their shoulders, but knees Shinichi in the chest. Shinichi bending over so that Goin just crawls up his back, and then he can finally stand up, and Shinichi is just trembling in pain, and then Goin reaches up, but he's too short to reach the window.
Oh. Oh no. I was going to be do you want to make a roll to see how you do? But if you do you want to just fail?
No, I want to I think just launch. I want to launch up from Shinichi's the plank, which is Shinichi's spine. How that goes.
I think take the risk.
Hell
Then you're doing something daring, risky. This isn't outright stupid, but it is risky.
Cause permanent spine damage to Shinichi.
It's like, what happened in session 1? Curvature of the spine.
External causes.
What tags would you like to use, Goin?
I would like to use maybe. So Goin wants to be a professional wrestler, and everyone knows that jumping up is a big part of the professional wrestling.
Yeah,
if you've
how
ever
else are you
watched
going to
the
do those power bombs if you don't have the vertical leap?
Exactly.
Mhm.
So I want to use my tag stage wrestling for this one.
Okay, go for it.
So I click it on and then hit risk. Take a risk, right?
Yeah, take a risk.
Boink.
Hmm.
Mild success, not a spicy one.
Oh. I think you get up to the window, but you are currently in a dangling circumstance, kind of thing. You're in as you flail. You kick the guttering, which comes away from the roof and gives Shinichi a method to clamber up, but you have also done damage to the house.
Well,
Oh boy.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Meanwhile, inside the house, you have progressed to inside. I'm in. It seems that Shohei, the dad, is indeed in. He is sitting facing away from the both of you at the kitchen table, reading a newspaper, as the mom, Vilma, also is facing away at the countertop, pouring cups of tea. Neither of them are saying anything.
Just saying, it's such a dad move to be like away from everybody reading a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to check, we're okay with like saying to them, "Oh, we haven't seen Yusuke in a bit." That's not, tipping our cards too far, right?
Well, the conversation previously was like, "Oh, we have some questions about Yusuke," and they invited you in. They didn't elaborate.
Yeah. So I think we just stick to our dropping off homework thing and see what they ask us. So,
So you said you had some questions?
Yes, indeed. First of all, why are you asking about Yusuke?
I mean, we were just dropping off homework. We had a request from the teacher, and he and I share a Spanish class, so I decided to bring the stuff back, and Lucian is my manservant, so he came with me.
Very funny. Yes, no, because I'm Sabine's friend, I thought I'd come along and also just, make sure that Yusuke is doing A-okay.
Mm-hmm. Both of you, now that you're inside the house, you get that weird, tingling, air-thinning feeling.
Oh, Christ.
That
What the hell?
there is the realm between reality and fiction is thin here.
Ghost Dad.
And
It is not the fiction we're drawing from.
Vilma, still facing away from you, says, I don't think anybody should be asking about Yusuke, actually. He has made very specific instructions that nobody should be asking for him. And if they are asking for him, and she turns round and she looks odd, like stiff, like a person, but also like a chess piece.
Oh.
Lucian, I think we fucked up.
This is fine.
Outside, going and Shinichi also dangling and going at the same time, split screen. This is fine.
We've got this. We've got this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I guess you both have clambered up to the window. It's not locked.
Okay. Yeah, I open up the window and let Shinichi go in first, and then go in after. I leave the window open.
You stumble in, and this seems to be Yusuke's room. It's reasonably tidy, to be honest. The wardrobe is huge. It seems like it's the kind of like armoire with doors that like close. There is a computer desk with a computer that's currently on screensaver, a calendar behind it. It just seems like a very neat, if maybe quite expensive bedroom.
Shinichi, did you just feel like a weird shimmer happening?
Maybe something. Shinichi will concentrate for a second and
Is that the feeling of
sniff
pride?
slightly.
Oh, you feel it. I don't know. I have a feeling that the signifier that you're entering the realm of the collective unconsciousness is different for each one of you, and I'll let you decide what that is on your own. The thing that you can see or smell or hear or whatever that is, the giveaway. But you can tell that.
I think for Goin, it's like his skin is glowing. It's really unsettling feeling of like warmth, but like uncomfortable. It's kind of like, what's the word? Feverish.
I think
Shinichi, is this the feeling of crime?
Shinichi will get a weird sort of look where his vision flickers slightly, and rather than walking on the carpet of the bedroom, it sort of almost looks like the black and white lattice of a checkerboard, which will flicker out of existence for a second.
I like that. Very good.
Yeah, I think the game's afoot.
Shinichi, why don't you give me an investigate roll for this room?
Let's do that.
Since this is Yusuke's room, it's likely that there's going to be some clues about.
Let's just have a quick look, see if there's anything to pitch for this. Probably not, to be honest. I think just a flat roll.
Okay. Ooh. You try the wardrobe, and it's locked. And you're kind of like, oh, no, I can jimmy this open. It's just and you try to jimmy, and it's tougher than a lock than you'd think. And then you start pulling at it to try and get it open, and it bursts open, and all sorts of, like, a ton of fabric falls out. In fabric in, like, shopping bags. The shopping bags are filled to the brim with makeup. And with a large, and you land on the ground with a large crash, and it shakes the room with the impact of all of this kind of skidding everywhere. Goin, you look behind you, and at the kind of like entrance to the room, like the main door, and you see a figure standing there.
Hey!
It's Shohei's dad.
So, I've caught a criminal.
It's not what it looks like, officer. Hang on a second.
The chess piece human simultaneously in neither cracks their knuckles and menacingly advances towards the both of you. Back in the kitchen, shit's getting wild.
Lucian, did Fields tell us how to do anything with the stuff in the thing when things are like this? Did we get any of that training at all?
It's fine. I'm sure we can figure it out, and it probably isn't as bad as it seems. I mean, after all, we can probably still reason with them.
You want to reason with this chess piece woman?
Mrs. Tenma, how are you feeling?
Interesting. Let's see. How does she respond?
Lucian may be in denial right now.
Yeah, not verbally. She does not respond verbally at all. This doesn't damage you, but I think just to kind of like establish what happening. She leaps in the air, almost like supernaturally, and slams down in front of you, Lucian. The floor underneath her cracks as she goes to try and grab you.
Lucian, it's time. We've got to go. We can't.
Yes,
Look at this.
okay. You're right. You were completely right.
I assume we're like sitting on like a sofa or something.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just gonna like roll over top of the sofa to like get out of her range.
Yeah. You roll out the way and you look around and you don't see the dad anymore. And you wonder where he went.
Shit. Lucian, stay here. I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. Don't worry.
I am worried.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess as you come up behind upstairs and see that the dad is currently menacing Shinichi and going,
Oh, hey guys, you made it inside. Thing is, this is bad stuff. I think you see that already.
Yeah, I don't know how to play chess.
I'll teach you sometime, but right now we gotta deal with these guys.
Okay, well, I guess I don't... I really don't wanna...
I think I'm going to make a hard move just to push things along.
Alright.
Goin, would you mind making a face danger roll for me as this chess piece moves supernaturally, like quickly across the floor and tries to hem you into a corner?
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'll face danger. Let's see if I have attack for that. I want to use... So I think I'm gonna use Spike is fuel for my furnace, because this relates to his tag, Sergeant Father, and male adults strike weird with Goin. So he's getting a little like flash of that, and I would like to roll with that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, face danger. Here we go.
Great success!
Holy shit! Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck dads.
The king chess piece tries to inflict cornered 3 on you, to try and put you into check. But you manage to. How do you like dramatically get out of being hemmed in?
So I like to think that there's like some wall. Great phrasing, Ruben. I'm not a native English speaker. Forgive me.
Good.
So while the chess piece dad is lunging for me, going sort of like, I think like puts one hand on the extended arm and uses as leverage and like sort of like fulcrums himself around the dad and like bounces back toward the door of the towards the door. So he's now on the other side of the chess piece dad.
All right, see ya, Shinichi. Have fun.
Thanks. Shinichi will stand up and odd sort of look comes over his face where it's yes, it's a game that sort of makes sense, I think.
Ooh.
More complicated than chess, though. She'll reach over, grab the laptop wrench it out of its socket, and shout something to the effect of "Horsey to King 6" and swing an unarmed strike.
Okay, so I think this is an opportunity for one of the fun things to occur. Shinichi, you decide to believe in the fiction of this scenario, and you feel empowered by that.
Huh.
I would like you to change your token, please.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Yeah. As you kind of trying to do this, as you try and do the swing, everybody else in the room, so Sabine and Goin, you see like a visual transformation take place.
He's got a mustache.
A huge top hat and cane, a longer kind of expensive looking trench coat and cravat.
Goin, he looks like a little kid in a trench coat trying to pass into a rated R movie.
I'm going to change the frame as well to the fancy frame as well.
Ooh, snazzy.
So in the stream we now have the alternate heads-up display. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Go and give me a go toe to toe as you try to attack using an impromptu weapon.
Okay, so that will be my non-lethal combat tag. So go toe to toe.
So I noticed that. Oh, big success.
Dynamite.
Yeah. Double check.
You get all
sucker.
3. So you get them good.
King me.
Applying. Right. So not only do you not get attacked back, you can basically do them a mischief by dealing them some damage. Oh, and you also achieve your goal is the third thing. It seems that the that particular macro is part of the roll and misses a detail. So you achieve your goal. So what do you want out of this scenario?
I suspect it's to effectively knock this creature back, possibly into a slightly more compromised position, nearer to the other two, as it reels away from the laptop, which is presumably shattered and spread keys and things, which presumably they fly towards the camera, and you see the words "check" freeze frame in a second from shattered keyboard keys.
What was that? Was it Wanted? That was that movie where they could curve bullets.
Yes.
Where they hit somebody with a keyboard and it says "fuck you," and the second you use the man's removed tooth. God, that movie was dumb. But yes, you crack and good. Keys go flying everywhere. There was an opening for you all to escape the room. You, Shinichi, are still, there's a bunch of fabric and bags of makeup kind of hanging off you, having it fell on you out of the wardrobe, but you are in a position to make your escape.
I think bailing out the window, probably holding the ruins of the laptop in one hand, which I may hope may have a hard drive. Well, haven't destroyed the hard drive, if I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
dive
dive out
the window.
Yeah, why not?
I guess this is all of you can escape under this particular circumstance.
I'm gonna run downstairs to make sure Lucian hasn't been kinged or queened or checkmated, whatever. Chess.
Shinichi, hold on. We're on the second story. Oh.
You just hear,
He flings themselves outside. You don't need to roll for that, but you do indeed eat shit.
Thankfully, you're the only one who's outside.
I guess downstairs to kind of resolve the rest of this encounter, as it were. Lucian, you're being bared down on by a knight chess piece parent. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna run up to it and shoulder tackle it if I can.
I
just want to
I'd quite like Lucian to see what they do as a circumstance, if there's a roll they'd like to make first. But yes, you can, on your entrance, you can wreck shot.
I like the idea of there's just a lot of crack marks in the floor, as Lucian has been just dodging all of these frickin' Bowser butt slams on the ground, and Lucian is as Night Mom looms overhead, and Lucian says, "You may think I'm just a pawn, but I'm stronger than you think." And Lucian shouts, "En passant!" as they dash forward, going to try to strike back as Lucian dashes past Night Mom.
What kind of role are we kind of doing with this, Is this to damage or just to try and kind of get out unscathed? Because sneak around might be appropriate if this is just you trying to get out of here.
This is definitely to damage. I'm invoking some semi-obscure chess rules. You can tell because it's in French.
And Persona isn't that obscure, but it's fine. Go give me go toe to toe then.
I learned about it in Lego chess.
The most highbrow, the game of...
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so let's see. I'm definitely invoking 3 steps ahead. And let's see. I think I'm also going to use push myself for this.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. Hit with all I've got.
Oh no, go toe to toe, please.
Oh, it was a funny joke I said.
Well,
Would you
either
like me
way.
Great joke.
No, I'll be kind. You can roll it again with the correct move. It's okay.
Thank you, friend. You.
All according to plan.
Choose one. You manage to achieve your goal. You get them good, or you block, dodge, or counter their best attempts.
Ooh, I am going to... I'd like to get them good. In terms of the status, I'd like to say baffled.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Your feint manages to catch them off guard. They don't see the attack from Sabine coming. However, they do kind of crack you in the back of the head as you try to move past. And it feels like you got hit in the head with like a wooden plank. Because it seems they're made of wood now? What? And you take a tier 1. Yeah. Oh no. If going by the moves I've actually written in my notes, you take injured 2. So you've been inflicted with a status injured that might wear off over time if something could heal you. But additional damage will add to that status. If you hit status level 5, you basically pass out.
Okay.
But you get cracked. But it seems that they've left themselves open to a counterattack, Sabine.
Okay, I am just going to charge and chuck from Super Mario World, shoulder bash this chess piece, just to try to give Lucian some leeway to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do it. I don't think she believes in herself quite like Shinichi does. So she's not going to access the creative unconscious quite yet with this one.
Yeah, there's still a heavy level of disbelief going on here.
Yeah, you can forgive her for being a cynic a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Go and give me a hit with all you've got. And could you, before adding your tags, knock up the power by 1 because you're in a favorable situation. There's a favorable tag going on currently. The chess piece is baffled.
Love that. Okay, I am, of course, filled with rage. I am, of course, revenge. And,
I am revenge.
I am revenge. Yeah, I'll do seemingly innocent. Maybe Chess Mom was, didn't expect anything out of me, and so she thought when I ran away, I ran away instead of just ran upstairs.
Out of fear and not as a threat. Okay. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right, okay. Give me, this is a power at +4. There's best be some good results.
And this is, toe-to-toe?
Hit with all you've got.
All you've got, okay. Oh, why aren't you rolling? Hold on.
I'm sorry, I'm trying.
There we go. Just
Great.
big old whack.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
come slamming down.
You can choose 2. Take cover or secure a position so you don't get revenge attacked. You get them good, which hits them with even more damage.
You can knock them out.
You can hold the target's attention if possible. You can gain the upper hand and gain a fleeting tag that might do something. But I think under current circumstances, I'll let you choose. Yeah, go
I want to get them good and hold their attention.
Mm-hmm.
Sabine is the tank. I built her like the tank, so let's tank.
So you do your power, which is 4, but you then also deal an additional point, which is 5, which is usually enough to remove most things from combat. So, what tag are you inflicting at level 5?
Dead.
That's 6.
Dead.
Laid out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Describe to me as you basically KO the Vilma Tenma.
Okay, so yeah, Sabine just lowers her shoulder, charges in like a charge and chuck, takes Yusuke's mom like right in the side of the chess piece,
Ooh.
like cracks her down, and then like in a like American football, like stands over her and just like looks right down on her, like standing above her, like in between her legs, just like staring at her.
Yes.
Sabine, you came back.
Eats shit.
Sabine, I knew you were good with parents. Let's get out of here.
Just a part of the Babysitters Club, Lucian. Let's get going.
Goin, do you also jump out the window? You had the opportunity to kind of escape with Yusuke's dad being pushed back. So are you going out the window or are you going down the stairs?
Yeah, I think Goin is like looking out the windowsill to make sure that like Shinichi is in a bloody pile.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's pretty
think...
bruised, and I think the shock of the impact has flipped you back to your mundane self as you are kind of like laying out on the floor, groaning.
Right. It's like Goin is kind of at a loss what to do because he's hearing like fighting sounds come from downstairs. I'm guessing that the king pawn, the king piece, is slowly getting back up.
Oh yeah.
Like I guess he'll just try to get out, but he's feeling like angry because this is like a very intimidating situation. Like this adult is like trying to get him, and there's something like really really angry more than just self-defense. So I think he's gonna go for like the swing instead.
Oh, he's going to attack him instead.
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna beat up a dad.
Man, I dropped the music, but sure, go and crack him in the face in complete silence. Actually, how angry are you getting? Do you believe that? And I'll ask you this as a player, because you know we're all like cooperative in the fiction here. Do you believe the situation that you're in?
So I think the metaphor of chess is lost something because he doesn't like no one taught him how to play chess.
He plays backgammon instead.
He plays backgammon, but also like he knows that his WWE idol Shinsuke Nakamura is known as the king of strong style. So that's kind of his bridge into the fiction. Like he sees this as a way to get the title, right?
Dethrone the king, dude. Yes.
Dethrone the king.
You face this weird amalgam of human and chess piece. You face them down, and something inside flares up within you, and even though nobody's in the room, you change form.
Yeah.
Go
and give me with a hit you've all you've got. Let's just close this out because I think we're overdue a bit of a break, so let's go and close this scene out.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do. Let's see. No tags for this. Just hit me with all you've got. Blink.
It sounds like a car horn when you attack.
You didn't add any powers to that. Okay, that's cool.
No, this is all him, baby. Yeah. Let's see. I want to choose. You take cover or secure a superior position, and like after I do it, I like want to like walk downstairs. Basically, I just like attack.
I think what happens is that you kind of go in for the punch, and as you go in, you feel yourself change, and in your hand is a gigantic spiked club, and you don't even question it. It's as if it was natural as breathing as you swing through the air and crack or attempt to crack Yusuke's dad across the face with it. However, you are not used to the weight of the thing.
Yeah.
And it throws your aim off, so you don't, take the head entirely off the shoulders or split the thing in two. But you do manage to do a kind of like glancing gash in the chest, like you almost like carve out a bit of the wood in this swing, and the dad staggers back, and you use that as an opening to march your way outdoors. As Lucian and Sabine, as you step away and try to make your way out into the street again, hoping that they don't give chase and nobody's seen you, you hear relatively weakly, from in the living room. Huh? What? Where am I?
Oh my god, did I actually just lay out a real woman? I say to
And-
Lucian.
And with that, we are going to go into a very swift break. How we're going to do it is with standard anime strong style and do an eye catch. So I need Goin, when you hear the music, just to give it a second or two, and then say the name of the show in as anime a voice as you can for me.
Arcana Corps. Arcana Corps.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've had a pleasant break. Yeah, this has been exciting so far. This has been going incredibly well. I'm very happy.
Got a raid from Koakuma coming in.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hello.
Oh my god. Hi, and
Raids are absolutely wild, and I don't know how to handle that kind of thing. Hi, hello.
Let's give a quick recap about what's happened so far.
Yes, let's do that. That seems like a very good plan. Who would like to give the recap? Or shall I go?
would.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Let's put on some chill tunes while you give the recap.
All right. No, so we are four
That's
teens. We're 4 teens with psychic powers. We've been recruited by a government agency. We've acquired a dad. There is a student who has not been found in 4 days. His name is Yusuke. I forget his last name, but he was a nobody. But because he was a nobody, he wanted to assert himself, so he wanted to go assume his drag queen identity and become a blazing shooting star. Probably. I don't know. We haven't gotten to him yet. Anyway, we visited his parents' house. Their parents are chess pieces. My character doesn't know how to play chess, so the metaphor's entirely lost on him. But in the heat of the battle, some of us have unlocked our superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are learning how to play chess, I guess.
Learn to play chess or die. So yes, we have returned to the map screen again. We were previously at Yusuke's house in the Heights. And while we're here, Shinichi, you have the opportunity to go through some of the items that you, looted from Yusuke's bedroom.
So as we're sneaking off, I've got several bags which look like they've got makeup in, and I've also half-hitched the remains of a laptop.
Mm-hmm. It seems that this bag is filled to the brim with makeup, but it's all red. No real rhyme or reason to, the types of makeup at all. Just, it's all red makeup, all stuffed in here. Alongside a flyer for the 8 Squares nightclub on Festival Coast.
I think I've found a clue. So looking somewhat pleased with himself.
We just found it. We just found a clue.
You have some options here. One option, if we do it, to part the curtain, there's clues that you can kind of gain from both going to Yusuke's house and going to the Anima Pavilion, the shopping mall. And there's some characters in the shopping mall that I quite like and would like to briefly introduce, but we don't need to spend there very long. So
Please
I would
go to the mall. I worked so hard on it.
because it introduces a character that you'll see in later stuff because they're recurring. So
Maybe we should go. Maybe we should have a quick look in the mall en route to the nightclub.
I
think I helped you write Yusuke 2 years ago, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I thought so. I thought he seemed familiar.
I was wondering whether you'd notice or not. My secret has been covered, but it's fine. The way the mystery works has changed a touch, so
perfect.
You can't just auto solve it. But what was I going to say? The carrier bags with the makeup inside are specifically for a makeup store called Face Yourself, which is in the Anima Pavilion.
So are we still all inside of the house?
This is essentially just outside the house while you're working out where to go next.
We have absconded.
So, Shinichi, I couldn't help but notice that you... hold on. You're 16, right? So...
Nearly 17. correct, Sneechy.
I couldn't. Right, nearly there. I couldn't help but notice that you managed to grow a full-fledged mustache within seconds. Is that like a formula you use? Is that one of your like?
I was wondering. I kind of got a little bit lost in the moment myself. It was weird. It was like, I mean, there was obviously the whole chess piece thing going on, but it's like I could suddenly see that there was rules to everything, and everything was like interconnected. I could almost see what he was going to do before he actually did it. And then I jumped out the window because it was all a bit weird. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
it's like natural instincts kind of kicked in.
Yeah,
I regret it a lot. Clutching his ribs.
Yeah, it was cool, but I still think you have to work on your landing because 2 stories is a very tall height. I can teach you some landing moves. We go over them a lot at the wrestling club.
I'd be game for that, Elsa. Yeah, sign me up.
Because if that's going to be like your signature move, right?
You know what? Signature moves go. I'm going to try not jumping from high places again. I think the novelty is rapidly worn off.
You'll never be a wrestler at that rate.
You only have so many ribs.
Yeah, ribs go back, right?
I think it's like tails, yeah, like lizard tails.
Human tails too.
You have a tail?
You don't?
Are we walking to the mall, or?
I think with that there is the change in scene. I like the scene ending there as a moment of
going. Is it like has a speed like a thought bubble going like, I don't have a tail. Do other people have a tail? Does my dad have a tail? Huh.
Yes, your dad does have a tail.
Whoa, how'd you get in my thoughts?
I'm always with you.
Oh my god.
The Anima Pavilion is the largest shopping center in Jungsburg. It definitely maintains a very vaporwave aesthetic. We have long since moved on from the 90s, but the architecture of this building definitely has not. It would have a relatively pleasing air to it if it not the fact that it's packed with people. As you make your way up to, you know, looking at the map to see where Face Yourself is, it seems that there is something of an argument going on outside of the front of it. There is a very exasperated looking clerk speaking to an even more exasperated looking detective.
I want to say that Goin knows the clerk because he gets some makeup for like his when he's donning his like amateur, like when he's doing the amateur stuff, like the wrestling stuff. He dresses up and he gets his makeup from you.
Nice, that makes sense to me. Feel free to place oneself within the scene. Do let me know if you lose control of your legs.
Which one's the clerk?
Sephora, of course.
Sure.
It's like wondering why I couldn't move it from the Twitch window then.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Come on!
Nathan, can you please turn on click maps for us so we can all click the stream? Thank you.
This stream in itself was already difficult to set up. But yes, there's an ongoing kind of thing between the shop clerk being like, I'm telling you for the 7th time, it wasn't me. I don't remember doing any of that. Well, if you look at the security footage, I think the evidence is relatively clear, just because you apparently don't remember.
Hold on. Goin steps up. Beck, what's going on?
Oh, I guess the detective Cirrus Moocher takes a step back to part space for the both of you. Oh, Goin, long time no see. I guess you've, what is it, you ran out of foundation, eyeliner?
No, I haven't booked a single match in a while, unfortunately. But I'm here for another reason, but that can wait. What's going on? Who's this guy?
The boyish-looking detective in front of you, Cirrus Moocher. She stands 6'1" in heels, in a very no-nonsense trench coat.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. She definitely goes for the very boyish aesthetic, so it's an easy mistake to make. An almost to the floor trench coat in black, monochrome pinstriped trousers, but an incredibly vibrant dress shirt. I think it's a kind of like aquamarine today. Oh, and she also has a gigantic flowing white afro, almost like a cloud blowing in some kind of non-existent breeze.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon, citizen. I am in the middle of having a conversation with a suspect of a breaking and entering and a robbery. It's not a breaking and entering if it's my own shop that I work for. Well.
Okay, well, detective. This is...
Ooh. Can I insert myself real quick?
Yeah.
Can I come up for some going tag team action here? Can I say that I know Detective Mucha?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Considering my past run-ins with the law.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay, so what things you know about Detective Cirrus Mucha? She is incredibly no-nonsense. It seems that she is trained in... She's a kickboxer.
Cool.
Which you've never seen her use, but the Adon-like stance that she's put herself in when facing down a criminal has been enough to de-escalate a situation. She is privately contracted, rather than... She occasionally works alongside the Jungsburg Police Department, but she often does personal cases. She's trained to be a psychologist, and it seems that she has something or other in her smartphone that helps her do it, but it's relatively complicated and you can't be bothered to let her explain it to you.
Mucha, it's good to see you again. I'm surprised that you're not sniffing around with your cop buddies today.
Yes, well, this is a job that seems solid. It's simple enough that I'd be able to handle it alone.
That's interesting. You couldn't handle what happened with me alone, though, could you?
Well, it wasn't my... her face kind of, like, darkens a little bit. It wasn't my call to send 5 people. I guess you managed to poke the wrong hornet's nest.
I'm quite good at doing that.
Right now, you're
Listen.
poking the wrong hornet's nest as well. Like what Beck said. You can't break into your own store.
She smiles humorously and taps the side of her nose. Well, I had the luxury of checking the computer network of Face Yourself makeup shop, and I managed to get a bit of the security footage. This is usually something that I would keep as internal evidence, but it seems like I'm going to have to show this to you to kind of get you to move along your way, so... And she pulls up her smartphone. It seems that she has a little digital assistant, a very kind of like jester Harlequin-looking thing. You hate the look of it. It's terrible. There's a little drama.
I'm a smartphone.
It's me, Clippy. It looks like you're trying to access illegal security footage.
Yeah, it like makes a. Have either of you played Killer 7 before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've watched a stream of it.
It makes a heaven smile sounding little cackle as it kind of gestures in the ta-da like pose, and it plays the security footage. There was a music change. I have it handy. Do I have it handy? It'd be very embarrassing if I didn't have it handy. Oh no, did I genuinely not put it into the Roll20 prior?
Oh no!
That would be...
Wait, Nathan, make it with your mouth.
Okay, fine. We'll go for the tense danger music, it's fine.
Tom and Will are not in this scene. Please make the song for us. There we go.
This is perfect. Let's continue.
I was so prepared.
Keep this up for 5 minutes.
But yes, you see the standard kind of, even though the like security cameras in this level of technology will obviously be crystal clear because we're maintaining an aesthetic across this kind of like anime, it's got a little bit of grain and fuzz to it. but you see Beck about to close the store, and then you see somebody come up. They're framed in a way that you don't get to see their face, but they seem, they're about a teenager height and build, pretty average, or maybe a little on the skinny side. They have a conversation with Beck. Beck stands stock straight, turns back into the store, and unnaturally glides along the floor. There's a little bit of a time skip.
Son of a bitch.
We then see the Beck again moving alongside each of the aisles of makeup, and it seems that this building's actually quite large. It's almost like a warehouse for cosmetics. And tactically kind of like scooping, without even really looking at it, into a large shopping trolley, just item after item after item, seemingly at random, but also they go to specific places and remove things, but there's no rhyme or reason. It's blush, it's lipstick, it's eyeliner, it's face paint, all of it. All sorts of brands.
So each might sneak forward a bit, handing a little bag to Lucian, which may include bits of a laptop and several large amounts of stolen cosmetics and things. So I was looking. Just hold there for a second, Lucian. Let me just have a thing.
I'm not going to look inside this for my own.
Say yourself. I mean, I know it looks a little bit Jewish, but let's be honest. I mean, he works there. It's presumably just a late night stock take. I'm sure the was approved by management, right? I'm going to attempt to go with a persuade check, I guess. A convince.
Convince, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna nip onto it with. Let's have a look for what I've got. Napoleon of crime, laws of man don't apply to me. Basically saying that it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah, go give me that convince roll. That sounds good.
Okay, we'll just do that.
Sabine, what chess piece was that sliding along the floor?
It seemed like it didn't really kind of come across on the camera, but the way that they were moving was, very chess piece-like.
Familiar.
Yeah. Okay, a mild success. Giving a... so what tag do you try to apply to Cirrus?
Self-doubt. Doubting judgment.
Okay. She kind of looks pensively, and is kind of like, well, I agree with you insofar that it seems in terms of motive, there really isn't much of a case for Beck to have stolen all of this, but none of it was returned. The stock is indeed still missing. We were able to get a warrant out earlier today to search Beck's apartment, and none of it was there. Yes, I know, because I didn't take any... So, really, I'm at a loss of where it might have gone.
So, you don't remember, what you're seeing right now, you don't remember doing that?
All I remember is that I was closing up, and then, you know when you have taken the same path home every day, and then you can just kind of walk it without thinking?
Yeah, it kind of skips.
Yeah, no, I closed up shop, it was normal as always, and then I was back at my apartment.
Going to leans into so only Beck and maybe Sabine can hear it. It's just out of the earshot of Mucha. Listen, shit's really weird. We're kind of looking into this, and once we can get this cop to ditch, we'll pick it up from here. You just gotta trust us in this one, okay?
Leave the ditching the cop to me.
Fair enough. Hopefully it means I can go home. Cirrus continues to look, I guess, tired and kind of at this point irritated that there are 3 teenagers now haranguing her.
Mucha, listen. I've got your badge number memorized by heart with all the times that I've called into the precinct about you. Please just scamper along for now. We just need to buy some products. As you can see, my eyeliner takes quite a lot of work and materials to get done. I'll, go in there, get shopping, and you can swing back some other time, but Becca's really tired, can't you see?
She squints her eyes. That's bullshit, and you know it. The fact that 4 of you all show up at once, gesturing towards to Lucian, kind of like in the background. I saw you guys walking up together. Don't think that you can pretend that you're all other interested parties. And you're the ginger-haired kid over there does not necessarily look like he's a fan of buying cosmetics.
Manservant. He's gonna carry the bag for me after I leave.
Do any of you need any help?
See?
Later, Jeeves. Later.
Actually, Lucian, something crosses your mind. You remember Agent Fields stating that while you are on the job, you have a degree of police sway.
Drop the name.
Yeah, Lucian marches up. I'm totally picturing.
Backs up to make room for you.
Lucian, just without looking at Shinichi, plops the bag in Shinichi's arms. Well, Detective Mucha?
Mucus.
Nice one.
Shut up, Kistner. What do you want?
Low 5.
Listen, we're working in a bit of a governmental capacity. Maybe...
Oh, sure. That's cute.
Hey, does the term Neighborhood Watch Delta mean anything to you?
It's the other one, Shinichi. The other one that we've done.
Oh yeah, Riders. That was it.
We are Delta T. Okay, no. Do we have that?
Cirrus is now tapping her foot.
Lucian is also tapping his foot.
Everyone hates this.
So we don't have like a badge yet, do we?
You do have this smartphone app that apparently you were given.
That's what I was just thinking. Lucian reaches into their bag and with a satisfying unflips the phone and taps the arrow keys over to load that app. Do you know what this is, Detective?
On your smartphone screen, Lucian, the weird, like, jester-looking AI assistant wanders onto, like, the screen of your phone and gives it a look over. And they have, like, a comedy tragedy mask thing that seems to flip between the two. It flips to the tragedy mask as it shrugs resignedly. Seems that it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. It opens its
car
mouth,
grabs
its
them all, killing
beak
everyone.
comes out.
Please stop making my phone beep like that.
It shrugs. Seems like it checks out, Detective. They're part of Raider. Oh, and then looks at Sabine and doesn't say anything, but you can read in her expression, they hired you?
I give her a wink.
Yeah, she's with us. We're cooler. No, we're riders. That's what we are.
We're cooler than you, that's for sure.
Cooler than you.
Listen, hey, we don't need to get into a credential waggling contest. Detective, maybe you could leave this to us?
Seems like I'm supposed to.
I appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you for putting up with the indiscretions of some of my colleagues.
Well, mind how you go. Just because the government likes to go and order around hire teams to do their dirty work for them on a regular basis, doesn't mean that you guys are immune from the law. Don't shake people down in a way that you shouldn't. Don't break any property that you shouldn't. And if I see you, pointing kind of like at Sabine without directly looking at her, you kicking off again, well, that would be out of my hands. That's not my jurisdiction.
Don't worry, Detective. I'm on probation. I'm a good girl.
Mind how you go, Sabine. And Cirrus I guess, slowly descends on the escalator
the escalator, yeah.
before leaving the scene.
So, do you have to have the 10-foot pole stuck up your bum to get that job, or is it something they install after successfully passing your probation periods? And each will say, just safely out of earshot.
I'm just happy the sky is cleared up a little bit. We can get back to business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whew. That was exciting.
Thank you. I really appreciate the save.
Yeah, Beck, you okay? What the hell?
Well, I'm physically fine. I have a little bit of a headache. I don't know whether that was from the conversation with the detective or not remembering what apparently I did yesterday.
This is going to be a bit of a shot in the dark, but I don't suppose all the items that went missing were red, were they? Says Nietzsche.
Oh, actually, yeah. Weird. How do you know that?
I'm just good.
I told you, we're on it.
Well, if you know where they are, could you please put them back? I'm still kind of pleading my case with my manager, but genuinely, if I stole that amount of money's worth of cosmetics, that's not just being fired. That's
Going looks at Lucia and goes, Jeeves, the bag?
Lucian makes eye contact and then just looks away from you.
Alright, Lucian, could you please hand me the bag?
Lucian, furrows their brow and then just plaintively gestures at the bag that they put in your arms as they walked over.
Alright, it was already there all along. So, Beck, are these the makeup you're looking for? Is this the stuff that was stolen? And Goin holds out and opens the bag.
Yeah, that's some of it. There's definitely a lot more than that. Sunichi, that wardrobe was filled with makeup. You only took a bag.
Yeah. Might be able to drop you a hint to drop to the actual police where it is, but I suppose it'd be worth us running through our investigations first, and then because there's obviously something a bit weird going on. Sneaky will reach into the bag and pluck out. Just gonna keep that. He'll say, picking out one random luminous red eyeshadow.
You have a key item in your inventory, red eyeshadow. You feel free to note that down on whatever note-taking devices you have available.
Good call, Sunichi. That is my color.
Absolutely have it when we're done. It's definitely not mine, Elsa.
If I go and turn that in, they're going to assume that I've just, fixed my guilty conscience and I'm returning the things I stole. Maybe if you leave it off, I should get out of here. And Beck starts making their way through the mall before swiftly leaving.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take the bag with me and drop it off somewhere, maybe hide it in a dumpster or something.
Some time passes. You manage to kind of fudge your way out of explaining how you managed to go and get that makeup. And no, it wasn't yours. You just found it, you swear. But eventually you managed to kind of placate the owner of the store and make your way back into the streets. It seems that you have a vague idea of what might be going on at this point. I guess this is a lots of different mystery solving games have this and they call it different things. So I guess I'll leave it to you to decide what exactly you want to go and call it. But the kind of thinking time where you puzzle through the evidence you have gathered so far.
I mean, logic chess feels most thematic for this scenario.
Oh no, the music was here all along. I'll just play it now instead. That's fine.
Thinking time.
Do we want to go back to the bowling alley? Maybe recap what kind of has been going on and talk to Andrew before we get ourselves wrapped up in a club of death, possibly?
Yeah, if it's anything like what happened in the house, I'm expecting more weirdness.
Yeah. I would like to go over with our transformations, and maybe if we can like master that a little bit before going in, because I don't want to fight against the whole chessboard. I hardly know what a pawn does.
Sonichi with that mustache is going to protect all of us, isn't that?
Well,
Of course.
I don't
In
think
fact,
no.
I think I'd like to try something when we get to the bowling alley.
I think before you consider heading to the bowling alley, and you get a call on your phone, or somebody's phone goes off. I'll let you choose who it is.
Not me. I don't have a phone.
We'll say it's Lucian's, and it,
sure. Lucian, your phone goes off.
Yeah.
You get a digital. You get a call from your agent Fields, your retainer.
Ah, Fields, yes.
Good afternoon. I'm just calling in to just double check how you are all doing.
Well, I'm still kind of getting.
The speaker.
Oh, is this a little muffled? Sorry.
No, that was to Lucian.
Hold on, let me see if this thing even has a speakerphone. I only really definitely use it.
It
Just
does.
slap your hand
Come
around
on, let's not make this harder than it needs to be.
I was gonna do a goof, but yes, absolutely presses a boop, and it's now on speakerphone.
I guess a little bit of time passes while you explain the adventure so far. Is there any information that you're interested in leaving out? Otherwise, you'll tell him everything.
I don't want to tell him that I harassed the detective.
Fair.
Sonichi's not going to mention that he nicked the laptop hard drive.
Okay.
I think to highlight, not leaving out, but to highlight is that this is something Goin has been mulling over. Like when talking to Maki, she mentioned like when we convinced her to spill the beans about Yusuke's like hobby and drag performance, she murmured to herself, "I promised her not to tell anyone." I think that was the phrasing you used.
To part the curtain there, that was either, because that was like 2 hours ago, either a misspoke on my part in using a pronoun, but there's also, it's pretty commonplace that when you are talking to drag queens in their persona, rather than outside of that, you tend to use
okay, that was the same.
The drag actors' pronouns. So if I used her, she, her there, then that would have been
that's what I considered. But also, like, this is a mystery. We have to find out. So, like, is this like an outside influence?
No, that wasn't a gotcha. Don't worry.
Okay, then it's not a gotcha. Bloodhound, I am. Can't hide anything from me.
Well, the fact that you encountered a thinning or an approach of the collective unconsciousness, that suggests that this is definitely something within our remit. I'm glad that their disappearance wasn't something more grim, although it could potentially be, depending what their particular collective unconsciousness looks like. My guess is that they have vanished somewhere within the CU, and are holed up there.
So I'm going to jump to conclusion. It'll be somewhere closely linked to whatever upset or what's it that's triggered this. So we're guessing the nightclub, as we've all sort of been leading towards, is probably going to be our best bet to investigate next.
No,
and
that
it's
makes
probably
sense.
going to go a bit weird.
That would definitely be an indicator of you being close to the matter at hand. There's usually some kind of sense, some kind of feeling, differs from person to person, that suggests that you are approaching the barrier between fact and fiction. So I suggest that you follow up on any leads about any drag venues, performance bars that our target, Yusuke Tenma, might have frequented, and when you feel the walls getting thin, you are definitely close.
Yeah, we found a flyer in his room, so we're gonna head out there. What's the name of the nightclub that we found the
It
flyer
is the
of?
8 Squares nightclub. Sorry, I just had to switch back to non-telephone voice.
8 Squares nightclub, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with that information, kind of like let's switch back to... I trust all of your judgment. If it gets too dangerous, don't be heroes. We have other teams that can go in if things get especially violent.
We're not calling Gamba team.
We're not giving this to Gamma.
I don't... Well, okay.
Roger that.
We are... Lucian, we are Delta.
Entirely overstepping Lucian's start of approach. Roger that. Over and out. Mind how you go. And they hang up the call.
Alright.
And I feel like we need to work maybe on accessing that other side of ourselves if we're going to be on par with Sunichi and apparently Goin, who I didn't see transform, but he has mentioned that he has found a way to access that side of himself. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Indeed, I couldn't agree more, though I'm certainly hoping that my whatever this transformation is isn't going to give me a mustache.
Well,
You stop hating on the mustache, there, Sneak.
There's nothing wrong with your mustache. I just don't want one for myself.
And there is a skip forward in time to where we started, where we ended in the cold open. It seems you've all been searching for a while, but eventually you found the Anxiety Lapon and chased it to this new destination. Outside. This should be the 8 Squares nightclub, but it definitely looks incredibly different. The fact that there is a swathes of red paint brushed haphazardly, dripping down from the sign obscuring the name of the actual location underneath. A line of shadowy figures outside queuing.
seems like someone certainly has already painted the town.
Yeah.
For
Right.
the new viewers, in the first scene of this campaign, we were chasing a rabbit that led us to this to this venue. So the skip isn't like just abrupt. If anyone was wondering.
Yeah, it's going back to present day as it was. This has all been technically flashback.
Yep.
But yes, while you are here, you definitely don't feel like you are in Jungsburg anymore. Things are weird and different here, and something about the idea of that sits strangely with you. Like, well, this isn't Jungsburg, but it is Jungsburg. This is absolutely absurd, but this makes perfect sense.
I think we're putting our feet on the game board again, says Shinichi, closing his eyes slightly and just sort of walking forwards.
Yeah, let's go.
Probably-
Let's go for the this one.
Ooh.
Yes, cool. I think let's go from right to left. So starting with Sunichi first. Feel free to change your token over to your collective unconsciousness design and describe how your outfit changes.
Okay. Sunichi sort of starts walking forwards, sort of in a very almost confident way, and then as his eyes slowly open, the methodical footsteps gain a third timbre as he's now got a cane which he's tapping on the ground as he walks. The trench coat sort of flows out, and there's the odd sort of replacing of outfit with these collective unconscious, very dapper Victorian thing. And he'll turn round, and the moustache and the monocle have appeared.
Great mustache.
Sabine.
Now, obviously, you are the GM, and you may overwrite me, but I feel like Sabine hasn't awoken. She needs just a little bit more of a push.
Okay.
She wants to use it in a dramatic moment.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
knowing how your character operates, there is a form that you can shift to that isn't the spicy one. So maybe that one.
The white person spicy for that.
So yeah, what does this transformation look like?
So Sabine, much to her own surprise, once she approaches the music hall closer, sort of just like without even a conscious sort of like handle on it, with her first step forward, her foot begins to like peel away from like just her normal her boots turn into more of like this skin tight plug suit with like a red jacket on over top of this black plug suit, and the goggles appear over her face, and she looks for a second at Shinichi and then at her hands, and then she goes, "Oh, I guess I did have it in me after all. That wasn't so hard."
Shinichi will fix his eyes about 6 inches above Sabine's head and go, yes, looks very good, very good. Next.
She punches you in the shoulder very lightly.
Ow.
Lucian.
Well done.
Yes, I think Lucian takes a step forward, and we're getting big magical girl transformation vibes as just
Yes.
as Lucian walks forward, these rings of light cover their legs and then just move upwards as their coat transforms into this like almost like fairy-like dress, and these two giant moth wings blossom from their back, covered in all kinds of arcane runes. And Lucian says, I suppose it's only natural. When you reach the end of the board, the pawns become queens.
Hell yeah.
Or
Nice.
Thank you.
All right.
Goin looks over with like, kind of like a weird sense of accomplishment, seeing his like not quite friends, but like accomplices, comrades, whatever you want to call it, like transform. And he's like the camera like lowers to like showing a profile view of his hand like balling into a fist. And you can see sort of like the jacket, the big fur collar jacket he's always wearing, sort of like slides off his arm, and you can see as more skin is revealed that like tendrils spreading, like ink spreading through his arm. You can see like these deep lines like embedding in his skin as more and more tattoos like cover his body. And like as he's standing there, like suddenly shirtless but covered in like all these very cool like Korean tattoo designs. He just has this wicked smile on his face as he sort of like pats a giant club he now has, a giant spiked club, and he pats it like in his other hand, and he just looks at the rest of the gang, and he looks at the music hall, and he just goes, "Let's give everyone a show." And this is like a personality switch and
So, get your pod changed. There we go. Bing.
boing boing.
Yes. And with that, you all, I guess, step inside. Move to. It is a cavernous-looking nightclub that stretches in unreal colors. It's like a lobby that stretches forever. It's stairs that go down and down and down. As you walk into the nightclub, there's like, it feels like it's supposed to be a basement club, as you spiral for a good minute before opening out onto this bustling floor. Groups of shadowy, incorporeal revelers drink and smoke, making the area crowded and hazy. It feels entirely surreal. I don't know if any of you have gone as your characters would have been to a nightclub before.
Yeah, all the time.
Definitely not.
This place is here in Jungsburg, this massive labyrinth.
I think it's both in Jungsburg and not. I think she's. It's. Yeah. What did Andy call it? Had a term for it.
The collective unconscious. Oh, actually, sure. Fuck. I'll do that. I'll do that. Hold on. He's available to chat to. The collective unconscious.
Oh, hey, Fields.
This, for some reason, is not coming through your phone. It's like in your head.
I assume my advisor has some sort of built-in listening device, right? And then she like feels her ears. Oh, maybe not. You're just in my head. That's
yes. There is a very heavy limit to what I can do. As I say, I am relatively out of touch with my Mythos Hermes, but sending messages far away is still something I am able to do in short amounts.
Can you read my thoughts?
I choose to decline to answer that question.
Or what am I? All right, I'm thinking about a rude thing now. Thumb bubble appears, a giant middle finger.
The fact
but
that
it's censored.
The fact that I am able to reach you this way does suggest that you have passed fully into the collective unconsciousness, which
That's right.
I suppose this means you've found your location.
8 squares, but it definitely looks different in here. Not just the whole collective unconscious thing, but the outside. Rather than having the title on the sign painted red.
Well, it is the collective unconsciousness for a reason. It is the thoughts and assumptions and interests of a wide variety of people layered on top of each other, made into something resembling sense.
Magic World, got you.
It makes sense that the area that you're in is both a nightclub and not the imaginations, the drunk-fueled hazes of nights out layered onto each other to make a, I assume, neon-looking labyrinth?
Sonichi, do you think if I swiped an ID from one of these shadows, I could bring it with me and get into a real club?
I mean, we could give it a go. I'm quite curious the potential of things that we could bring back or take into here.
That is
Man, servant, listen. Let us have our fun.
Don't you have to look like a shadow if you want to use its ID?
A lot
I can
of
wear a bodysuit.
He did say not to break the law,
well,
Fine.
there is a... I suppose you could call the collective unconsciousness extrajudicial territory. What goes on in here is beyond the understanding of mortal man and mortal law.
There we go.
Things in real life can change significantly when taken into this kind of twisted scape. And likewise, if you tried to bring something or someone out. You are all... How are you all feeling, by the way? Nauseous?
I don't really feel too different. My clothes changed, sure, but I don't feel like I've got a powerful aura of abilities around me, unlike Mustache.
Indeed. It's very common that when you step fully into the collective unconsciousness, you change your appearance to match what you feel deep within. So, and you...
Yeah, I feel pumped.
I feel like a latex fetishist, I guess. That's weird.
Again, I decline to comment.
The whole group looks at Sabine.
Yeah, Lucian's face was already kind of scrunched, and now brow just furrowed.
Sneechy writes something down, puts it away.
Sonichi, you're not putting that away.
At any rate, if Yusuke Tenma is in here somewhere, they either have a form that they are taking to maintain logic within themselves. If they are unable to do that, I'm not quite sure what the collective unconsciousness would do to a mind that isn't protecting itself from sheer fictional nonsense.
So they're kind of like falling into a sea of fiction. And whereas we're kind of floating on the top, they might have sunk.
A good analogy. Yes, that is a good way to put it. While you're here, you'll find that the realms of what you can do as a mortal person is definitely pushed. But don't drink too deep. I wouldn't want you to lose yourselves.
You mean we can lose ourselves in here?
Well, if you spend too long unable to discern fact from fiction, then you might as well be absorbed into the scenery.
No, that's interesting.
You see, as you say that, you kind of look around and see these shadowy figures with like a weird glitter just below the surface of them, as if they were like made of space. And as they continue to smoke and drink in an endless loop.
Seems like someone definitely drank a little too deep.
Yeah.
Let's get moving. I think maybe the less time we spend here, the better.
Indeed, please continue to explore. If you have any emergencies, please let me know. And as I say, do not push yourself. The last thing I would want to do is be responsible for, well, mind how you go. I'm hopefully, I believe in all of you to be able to achieve great things. Over and out.
Interesting.
You kind of look around the space, and there is in this lobby area a bar, a coat check area, and a large neon sign that says 1 drink minimum.
Well, you heard the sign.
A little ways beyond, there is a pathway to somewhere deeper within the club with a velvet rope. You have all entered into Grandmaster's Revelry.
Grandmaster's Revelry. Huh.
Keeping up with that chess theme.
Yeah.
Ooh, are we doing a to be continued?
Ooh, actually, this is, I think, a reasonable place to go and stop for today. We ran on a little longer than expected, but I think we've had a very, very good time. Are we all good to take a pause here?
Sure.
What's me?
Cool. Yeah. Oh, this went so well. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's switch back to some chill vibes as we go and do debrief. I have resisted so badly from using any Persona music in the kind of opening bit. I'm like, that's too easy.
I'm very impressed with you, but I mean, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is adjacent. So
oh no, I know. I was kind
yourself-
of, I'm kind of like a Tokyo.
You gotta give yourself some.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Blue Reflection are not immediately Persona, even though they are essentially Persona in a different form, and I'm like, it's fine.
If you use any mainline Shin Megami Tensei music, you're also on thin fucking ice.
Oh, I mean, there will absolutely be some Persona stuff as I kind of hit a space of like, well, I can't not. There are some jams that would be criminal to not use. But for now, I'm trying to think outside the box.
I don't know what a frickin' Persona is, so you're good by me.
You know what
It's
a
like
JoJo is? It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dojang.
Oh,
But
golden.
let's go and wrap things up properly. On all of our streams, we like to do comments and kudos, or stars and wishes if you are getting fresh with it. Where everybody goes around the table, the players go around the table talking about a moment or something that happened that another player did that they really liked, whether it was a piece of in-character acting or a way a role kind of came out really cool. And then we can talk a little bit about what we're excited to see in the future. And then we'll go and wrap it up. So who wants to go first? The kind of kudos.
I have an idea. I'd like to give my kudos to Sabine, because I quite enjoyed as we were infiltrating the house, and it was really fun playing off of Sabine with the contrast of like, I really don't want to do this, and Lucian being like, it'll be fine, like Lucian being too calm about it, and Sabine being like too on edge about it was very fun to play.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I like the one just like on that scene. I liked how Lucian was even like, "It'll be fine," when the woman turned into a living chess piece.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing is wrong.
Hopefully that was at least a little spooky. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was. I didn't expect that at all. I seriously went into there. It was just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna fucking get grilled by parents or whatever and then leave. But no.
Oh, your audio cut out a little bit on my side.
I was just shouting you out for the surprise of the house. That was just unexpected.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Who else wants to give any kudos to anybody else?
Kudos. I would also like to shoot kudos right back to Will. They are hanging with Sabine's personality perfectly well and taking the manservant stuff very good. And I think sort of Lucian's like character and Sabine's character are a really good foil and sort of just roll off of each other very well. Same with Shinichi. Shinichi's got a great sort of like give and take with Sabine's comments. Very excellent stuff.
Yep.
You two are killing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just also going to shout out for the spectacular transformations for Gun, especially for the just the image of the popping off and the tattoo sort of appearing. I thought that was fantastic, especially with the pairing off in the scene in the house with what was turning into very much a comedy slapstick routine of us just trying to get into that room.
Yeah, that was. I really like the vibe that the Shinichi and going to have. Just like they're polar opposites, but I think they mesh well because Shinichi is just like very outward facing, very kind, and like Goin is very inward facing kind. Like he has a lot of compassion that he doesn't know how to show, and that like overlaps very well. Also, they're two puckish little demons.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I would also like to give a shout out to Shinichi, to Tom for playing him, especially to see with Maki, like talking to her and being like, "Hey, Maki, how do I do this? How do I do this?" I thought that was very cute. It stuck out to me. I really enjoyed that.
You were all very, very convincing disaster teens. It's great. Oh, awesome. Now, in terms of kind of like what we might be excited to go and see and do next time, I think for me, what next time is going to be in terms of shape is going to be this dungeon crawl. It's not very long. It's only a handful of rooms just to kind of get us used to the Voidheart Symphony mechanics, because while we're in the collective unconsciousness, the rules change and the moves that are available to you are slightly different. And then it will be downtime scenes. So in between every mystery that you do, there will be a period of time for you to essentially have whatever scene you want, anywhere in the city with another player, NPCs, so on. Please do tell me off air. You can just DM me directly or tell it to our just general group. I'm totally down for it being private. What scene you would like to do, so I can get the appropriate backgrounds, music, tokens, and bits and pieces for that, so we can go and play them out. And that will probably be what the next session will entail as a whole.
Okay,
cool.
But yeah, what are you excited to do? What bits and pieces are you excited to get up to?
I think the discovery of what the characters' actual personas / mythoses actually are, because there's presumably a level of actually discovering the actual legend that they're tapping into, because it's still at the stage of, this is a bit weird, what is it?
Absolutely.
I am so ready for the source of the goblin noise to make its appearance.
Oh yes.
Yeah, if this opening room in the Grandmaster's Revelry went on for a bit longer, you would see Goin's mythos manifest itself.
I still think that I should be allowed to voice the Dokaibi, because you know that I got that goblin master.
He's a goblin. You have to let him do it.
Okay. I'm happy to pass it off to you under circumstances where you're not talking to yourself, because that's obviously like.
But people won't be able to. People won't be able to know this because when I'm doing Goin, I sound like this. Yeah, when I'm doing a goblin voice.
Oh my god, when did Mark get in the voice chat?
I'll just make sure that I address the Dokaibi very, very often, so that Ruben has a chance to goblin as much as he can.
Also, bear in mind that my voice acting isn't terrible, and I improve every time. There's a threshold to how goblin I can get. I will try to do my best to meet yours. I apologise in advance if it is slightly less goblin.
No, Nathan.
We love your goblin.
Yeah, it's great.
Your goblin. I am so glad that you're like willing to put on invite the shame and calumny of ever doing a goblin voice at all just because I wanted the goblin character.
Well, it's not.
You didn't have to go that deep, and you went that deep for me.
It could be worse. You could be like, your character's supposed to be Russian or German or like any actual accent, and I'm like, can't do that. Also, that's can end up not great depending on how you approach that. So goblin voice is reasonably easy to do. I just don't want to do it for super long. You know what I mean?
By the way, a little thing about the Korean goblin Dokaibi is that they fart all the time. So you have to.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. That also.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
I'm a fucking cat girl, yeah.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Moving swiftly the fuck on, Marcy. What are you looking forward to from the campaign as a whole?
I'm very excited to. It always comes back to this, but I'm really excited to do my bullshit Marcy twist on this.
I
always have
the family drama TM.
I always have something terrible and awful planned, and so when we get to that part of campaigns or shows, I like to bring that out. So the players have seen a preview of it, but the audience, I think, will really get to enjoy what happens here.
Nice. Will, I don't think you've given what you're looking forward to yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm certainly excited to flex my wings. I think I am. Is this specifically for next session or kind of in general?
Either or.
Okay. Let's see.
Both if you wanna, if you're nasty.
I am nasty. I think I'm looking forward to. I'm certainly looking forward to how the different parts that you have set in play kind of come together in the next session. So that's exciting, and I'm interested to see where the downtime will go. Actually, I can see there's a lot of different potential for that, so that's interesting.
You've done a campaign with me where I've had downtime before, and I really enjoy downtime bits because it's just vignettes where just people just talk, and I get to put some nice music on and we just vibe for like 15 minutes. It's great, love it.
Big agree.
For myself, I am very excited to reveal some of the additional shenanigans in the Grandmaster's Reverie, especially the art of the nightmare that you'll face at the end of it. It is so good, and even though it was never gonna, we'd never get to the end of the entire dungeon in this opening session. It was never gonna happen, but I'm still kind of like, but when they see it, though, it's gonna be sick. Eve Greenwood did the artwork for that, and also the artwork for the next nightmare, because I thought one step in advance. But the other thing that I am excited for is, just for fun, when you guys actually meet Team Gamma.
Yeah.
That'll happen at some point.
Nope,
they're done.
Finger across the throat, they're gone.
I just like the idea of there being like a Team Rocket, but they're allied with you.
I hate them fucking much.
But maybe we have a Team Rocket.
There's gonna be like a My Hero Academia like tournament style where we face off against Gamma and we have to prove ourselves.
Tournament arc.
Yeah, exactly. We have to do like uncover the most mysteries, destroy the most psyches within a given time limit.
But also the characters, because this is the culmination of many campaign bits that have been training for this event. There are a handful of characters that have appeared in other things that are appearing here. Detective Cirrus Moocher is one of them. But the characters, or at least two of the characters that make up Team Delta, are specific returnings of characters from other campaigns that current present company might be privy to. And just revealing that and then being screamed at for it is something I am very, very excited for.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Cirrus is a player character in a different campaign that Nathan's running, and
well, I star in. I don't run it, but I'm a player in it. Cirrus is a player character. But yeah, she's great and terrible. It's interesting. I love in the grand scheme of things mysteries and police procedurals, but I don't like police, and that makes it really difficult sometimes. And I don't think Cirrus, even in the campaign that she's in, is especially good policeman. So I guess I'm going to navigate how she appears in this. My intent is her to essentially be a Detective Gumshoe, Emma Skye kind of character. More like Emma Skye than Detective Gumshoe. She's actually competent. But somebody who knows that Ryder exists and will begrudgingly assist you if you ask her nice. So the fact that she doesn't get on with Sabine at all is great.
I was going to say, so yeah, don't let me talk to her anymore.
Oh, no. You can absolutely talk to her. It'll be the balance between hey, I'm supposed to be helping you, but I can't fucking stand that.
Yep.
With that all the way, I think we can do some wrapping up. Some self-promo and bits and pieces. Oh, actually, I'm going to go and switch to the thing.
Yeah.